What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Danger Zone. Let me cut the music, the awesome music. Kendrick Lamar, uh, killing it, man. He's killing it out there. He's got some bodies to his name. I think we all know the particular human that he is just slaughtering on a daily basis. I know Hayes knows all about it. But anyways, welcome to the Danger Zone. Friday again, the first one post Christmas. Let us know in the chat what you got for Christmas this year. Also, while you're here, dude, smack the like button. Come on, guys. Hit that like button. Get us out there to everybody else looking for Jets content here on Friday night. Without further ado, you know the man that is my right hand. He's here tonight. Sorry for the tech difficulties, but I'm bringing him in now. See what he has to say.
What's going on? What's going on? How we doing tonight?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm great, and you know it's going to be a good show when the Danger Zone has tech difficulties right off the bat. That's what we're about. Tech difficulties and getting a little too sloshed on camera.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dude, how was your Christmas? How was your Christmas?
It was good, man. It was good. It was a lot of driving around. It felt like, but kiddo was happy, therefore I'm happy, and did get a little bit of Jets gear, hold on, yeah, New York, yeah, yeah.
That a Jets flannel. That is
I
sweet. Yeah,
told
I
you,
know.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that's
It's
pretty cool.
weird, it's
Check
not
this.
Jet
You like
colors,
this?
but okay, okay, nice little Christmas Jet shirt. I see you. I like
Dude,
it.
I like that it's not Jets colors though, because then you're not wearing black and green every day of your life, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's awesome, man. That is awesome. But overall, good Christmas. Kiddo had fun, all that.
hmm Yeah, about an hour ago, I was putting together a gaming chair for him, and getting them all set up. And there's still a lot of crap I need to do, but for the most part, we're getting settled in. He likes his new stuff, and it's a good year.
You know, we do have a debate we're gonna have here in a moment, but let me throw you a softball debate right off the bat. How long is your Christmas tree gonna stay up?
I usually wait till after New Year. So after New Year's, that's when I'll take it down. So you put it up
Not
right after
Valentine's.
Thanksgiving, you take it down right after New Year.
You know what? I that's where I'm at. Like,
That's that sweet spot.
yeah, like as soon as Thanksgiving's over, or maybe December 1st to January 1st. You know, but dude, first year though, I don't know if you've ever had a live tree. Um, I've never, but I think you have. I think if you have a fake tree, it should come down ASAP. You know, whether it's the day after or whether it's the last day of the year. When you have a live tree and you're forking out $100, $200 for it, I totally understand if you keep it longer. You know that's up to you, man. That is. Um,
Yeah, I mean, well, they after a while they dry out and the needles start falling all over the place and stuff, so it can be messy. When I was a kid growing up, we always got live trees, um, but I didn't take note of the fact of when we put them up and took them down and things like that. So I don't know, but it's just way more convenient getting a fake tree. And the fake trees nowadays, you can get some that are like a lot. They're more full and they look better than they used to back in the day. They used to be like scraggly. They used to be like Dane trees, like little little scrawny trees, like wacky, wavy, inflatable trees. Yeah, no, but
Hell yeah.
they make them a lot nicer now. So I'm cool with the fake tree nowadays.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know, man, cause like they're a perfect like I don't know. I like the scraggly man. I don't know if it's because it's me. I'm scraggly myself, but like I don't mind
Well,
buying
that
one that
maybe that's why I like a full tree. Maybe I'm like, I like my trees thick,
I.
juicy.
100%, man. Well, don't want to detour too much. I do want to get into the main topic of tonight, man, because like I know talking to you earlier today, like neither one of us are like hovering on every tweet, like just dying for Jet news. Honestly, there hasn't been a lot. We will get into some like week related news. Like we're playing Buffalo, obviously, big game for us. I feel like we can't lose because like we're punching up. We'll get into all that, but like dude, I was watching way too much content through the fall on here and elsewhere. That is curbed way down nowadays. I'm probably watching a couple hours a week, and that's saying a lot. But one thing I did catch this week, and I think is a very good debate, is how to approach next year. Like, a lot of the talk is do we bring Aaron back or don't we? Well, here's the thing like, there are some, and where I got this was on Jake's show the other day. He had Frankie V from U Stadium on,
Mhm.
and they had a big argument about whether or not 2025 is already lost. And I think there's a lot of people out there that um, do think that it is. They think that there's better quarterbacks in 2026. They also think at best we're keeping Rodgers and winning 8 to 10 games. Uh, so I know yesterday, I think it was when Frankie was debating with Jake on this, he was of the mind of why even bother going for those 8 to 10 wins. He pretty much wants to tank the year away. Um, he wants a top five pick. He wants to take a quarterback in that 2026 draft. And that's why I opened the call in line early. I want to hear from the fans. What do they want to do? Do they think that we should even pursue a bridge quarterback? Um, I have kind of always been of the mind of you're either going for the Super Bowl or you're rebuilding. That middle, that Mike Tomlin, that 9-7 every year, and then a one and done. It sucks. If 2025 is looking like that is our best case scenario, do we go get a bridge quarterback? Do we recruit Aaron maybe to give us a hometown discount to where we're not paying a bridge, but we have a bridge? Like, because I like that. Do we draft a quarter? Like, how are we approaching 2025? How shitty is the shit we're dealing with right now? Is that going to be here another 18 months? Uh, I want to hear about it all. Where are you at on all this? Because, like, there's even angles to this that I haven't even immediately thought of, but there's like 27 directions, 27 theories. Um, where are you at with it? You talk. I don't
There,
know, man.
there, there is so much to touch on and so many different ways to look at it. And that's why this is a good show to open up the call-in lines early, have people come on and kind of debate some things and talk back and forth on how to approach things. I'm kind of the mindset like I don't want to tank, like I don't I'm not a person that's going to be pro tanking ever. If we're already 2-13, you know, yeah, I might want to lose that last game if there's a stud quarterback coming up in the draft. Yeah. But like I'm never going to go into a season and say, yeah, let's tank. Like, no, like because there's also something to be said for winning. Like if you win 8 or 9 games in a year, that starts building a culture like that. Those It's like, wow, this is our tank year, this is our bad year, like we're supposed to be good next year and we still won 8 or 9 games. So that's something there's something to be said for that as well. But um as far as 2025, I feel like it's kind of both. Like, I don't have expectations for a Super Bowl no matter what we do. Bring Aaron back, Devontae back, or draft a quarterback, or pick up Kirk Cousins or whoever. I don't think that we're going to be built well enough to win a Super Bowl. Even if the coaching improves, because I think that we're going to have too many holes next season. I think we have so many things that have to be addressed over the offseason. It's just not going to happen this season, even if you put Lamar Jackson on our team. Like it's not going to. There needs to be more done.
The entire
So yeah,
defense,
so
man.
I think 2025 is washed if you're looking for a Super Bowl or even a deep playoff run. I think it is washed. But at the same time, I don't think that you should just try to tank. I think that you should try to win. And you never know. You might catch lightning in a bottle, and the wind blows the right way, and things happen. And next thing you know, you're 11-6, and you're hot towards the end of the year, and who knows? But I
Well,
think that
let me ask you this though. What if and who knows if he's even as good as he's touted, but what if we're 2 slots behind the possibility of drafting Manning? Or, like, where do you factor in, like, I gotta be first in line to draft a quarterback in 2026 versus we'll get who we get?
I think I think that there's two things. Like, I think that if you it's not just like, I think part of it is the quarterback, but I think a lot of it is also what you bring that quarterback into. And a lot of that is coaching, right? If you have Kevin O'Connell as your coach, like, you're bringing a quarterback into a good situation, right? If you have a sturdy team around them, a good offensive line, and your defense is, not giving up a ton of points, and you're not putting a ton of pressure on your quarterback, you're putting them in a good situation. Those are the things that really matter. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter who you pick. I'm just saying, like for instance, I wasn't a fan of JJ McCarthy going into the draft. I didn't really like his skill set and stuff like that, but I'm actually kind of confident that he's going to be a good quarterback under Kevin O'Connell, because that team is built. That team has weapons, has an offensive line, it has everything you need. It has a good coach, a good coaching staff. So it's very possible that JJ McCarthy is going to be good at football. I mean, we've seen a guy that we failed previously in Sam Darnold that is over there killing it. I mean, he's not playing necessarily MVP level, but he's playing good ball over there. And that just goes to show you how important the coaching and the culture and the stability is. So you're not going to have that if you just came off of a 1-16 season. I don't care if you get Arch Manning, who is the next Peyton Manning type prospect or whatever. It doesn't matter if you don't have pieces in place, if you don't have a good solid foundation, right? So I I can't say that I'm going to be that upset if we're 2 spots behind Arch Manning or what. I know that was a hypothetical, but I'm
Yes.
not I'm not that bummed about it. Like, it is what it is. Draft a different guy. If you got the right coaching and stability and culture in place, like, look at
Yeah.
Bo Nix right now. I didn't see him being that good either, but
Good
it,
point.
it comes down to, like, coaching and other aspects. So, and he
And
got
that's
drafted, what? He was a fifth quarterback taken?
And that's the thing. There's 32 quarterbacks in the league. How many of them, and I should have looked it up, but how many of them were drafted in the top three? Like, not as many as you think. So, like,
Mhm.
I do like that angle. It's like don't don't obsess over having better picks. Obsess over having better guys making the picks, right? And that should be the mantra. I mean, ideally you have both, better picks and a better selection committee. Um, but at the same time, like maybe calling it a tank is not really doing it the service it because like then people just shut it down. I guess the real question is like we're going into I mean it's the first year of a new regime and guys are gonna start getting paid like how conscientious of like our record will you be next year? None at all. Mildly, when once you're mathematically eliminated, since it's year one of a new regime, do you then kind of like is it an evaluation year for the roster or is it no? I'm competing to win every game, and like they said in the pressers this week, Downing said, "My job isn't to evaluate the roster; it's to get guys to perform, basically." Like, and that's why Corley, when asked about Corley, he said that. Like, are you putting that out there at all? Like, are you gonna be playing 2025 for 2026?
Yeah, I think that's what's probably going to happen. Like I said, like it's a harsh term to call it washed, but like if that's what you want to call it, yeah, 2025 is washed. Like more than likely it is washed. Does that mean I'm not going to watch the games? No, I'm still going to watch the games. I'm still going to get excited. I'm still going to root for players. I'm going to hope for development. There's a lot of things to still watch in the season. But yeah, we're not going to be looking for anything significant till 2026. You know, I and like I said, even if we bring Aaron and Devontae back, I just haven't seen enough to where I'm thinking, oh, that's Super Bowl. We're going to be in the Super Bowl because of that. No,
And
because we're
that's the
losing games with those two, and they're both playing like not that bad. But
we're
Devontae's
gonna
been
need
killing it lately. But
we're gonna need like seven new starters on defense, and like it's not even how we perceive the team. How will incoming or how will available free agents view this team, even with an Aaron Rodgers and a Devontae Adams? Is this a ring chasing destination? I would say not in the spring.
no, not at all.
It would need to be in order for us to retool good enough, I think. But again, one can argue, well, if Aaron and Devontae come and they win 9, 10 games, they could be back again, where you're then in a point to ring chase. Like so, I don't. You know what we need? We need a third voice. How about we open the call in line? It is pinned in the chat, guys. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. I know someone in the chat already said it. We need to get to 500 subscribers. We just hit the milestone of 3,000 hours watched, and you need that in order to level up your channel, basically. You need that, and you need 500 subscribers. I got the hours down. That's done. We just need more subs. So please, 30% of you guys who are watching and are not subscribed, please just hit that button.
Those 5 hour night shows definitely racked up pretty quick, huh?
Yep, we did a year's worth of watch hours in 8 months, so not bad.
Yeah.
But without further ado, we do have a third voice. He's been patiently chilling in the back. I want to hear what he has to say about 2025, how his Christmas was. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the best dressed at all times, Charles Gorman.
Charles.
Followed you guys on Instagram, so keep me up to date, okay?
Absolutely. Yeah, I followed you back, buddy. I saw that.
I'm not on
Um,
there. I'm not on there very much, but I'll find it and I'll follow you back, brother.
my Christmas was great. I had a wonderful Christmas dinner. I went to 10 o'clock Christmas mass at my one of my local churches. I got a nice sweatshirt, got a Costco shop card. Got a nice packet of T-shirts. It was nice. My grandmother stopped by later on, gave me $50 worth of cash.
Do you have plans for that cash?
Yeah, I spent some of it. It was good.
Hey, you ain't gonna spend it in your grave, you know. Might as well
I
spend it
know.
while you got it.
Scott Foster wants to know, do I have weird stuff on my face? It's the glasses that I showed on the Discord that one time. I got at a
Ah.
Christmas party a couple of weeks ago. It
I
was
didn't
very
even
nice.
notice.
I showed it to my parents and my grandmother on Christmas. They died hysterical laughing. I just wanted to show it to you guys.
I
Anyways,
like it. I like it.
thank you. As for 2025, look, what really hurt the Jets this year was not just the player personnel, it was the coaching personnel. The coaching personnel really, excuse my profanity for all the young kids that are watching, fuck this team. The coaching really fucked this team. And,
Yeah.
people want to say Aaron Rodgers is a coach killer. Robert Saleh, even before Aaron Rodgers, proved that he wasn't a good coach. He proved he wasn't. There were times he proved he was over his head. And, in over his head, excuse me, that's what I should be more specific. But, even Jeff Ulbrich, look, I feel bad for the guy. He's a nice dude. He's a chill guy, but he's not a good interim head coach either. So, we need a new coaching staff. Now, obviously, we do have some players that we need to say, get your Scooby snacks and get the fuck out because you're not part of this program anymore. There's a no for you. Um, like obviously, a lot of people do not like Michael Clemens. I can see why he plays with effort, but he does a lot of stupid shit. Is 2025 doomed? I wouldn't go that far. It all depends. Yeah, and I agree, Scott Foster. Aaron Rodgers gotten a lot of coaches' jobs over the years that should have never have gotten those jobs. Yeah, that's very true. That is very, very true. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't deserve any blame, but he doesn't deserve all the blame that he's been getting over this season. But
Charles, let me ask you this. We are going to cut Aaron Rodgers. Guarantee you, early March, maybe sooner. We are going to cut him because if we keep him, his dead money gets another 14 million tacked on. So we will cut him. My question to you is though, he's cut. You've planned out how you're going to pay back his money. Blah blah blah. Then you pivot and you look at free agency. Now you
I keep
have
Tyrod.
wait, what? We already have Tyrod. He's on our roster. You pivot, and there's Jacoby Brissett. There's Justin Fields, who I think will have competition. But then down the list, you see a cheap and willing Aaron Rodgers. You already have his dead money. You got to pay his debt. Yeah, that's already done. You have to, no matter what happens. You got to. So that's irrelevant. What's relevant is, do you want a Fields or Brissett who may or may not have other suitors, or do you want to try Aaron again because he probably will go cheaper than some other guys?
Personally, I'm kind of neutral when it comes to cutting or keeping Aaron Rodgers. But personally, I wouldn't mind going with Tyrod. I've always liked Tyrod. I've always felt he was a solid football player. Not a great, but solid, efficient. But from what I've seen from Justin Fields with Pittsburgh with the right coaching in place, he looks like a fun quarterback. Granted, he needs to still improve a bit on his passing, but the thing is, I remember Ryan Delaney, and this is not me taking a shot at him necessarily, Jets Talk 24/7, somewhat comparing him to Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow couldn't really throw the football that well in college. He was mostly like a runner. Justin Fields can throw the football pretty precisely and accurately when he wants to. He's got an arm, this dude. Obviously needs to work on his mechanics a little bit, but um but the thing is,
So
Justin Fields can run.
you're not so you won't go you don't want anyone. You just want to roll with what we have kind of thing.
I wouldn't mind Justin Fields, honestly. I wouldn't mind bringing him over from the Steelers.
He'll be a
But
free agent. He will be a free agent. I don't know if he'll have. He might have 5 teams that want him. I don't. So like
I thought he was
you,
done dirty by the Bears. He wasn't the problem. It was the team that was the problem.
I guess I have a hot take with Fields. I think that he's going to have people wanting him, and I think that it's going to make his price a little higher than a lot of people want to believe. I don't think he'll get a lot, but I could see him getting 15 mil. Am I crazy?
Low. I don't want to hear anything. I'm going to bed. Well, as long as you got to
I no, dude. I think that Fields. I think he showed enough that he's competent enough this season with like an actual good team and good coaching that it could very well drive his price up. But there's only 32 of those starting spots in the league, and there's going to be guys coming in the draft this year. It's hard to tell, but I could see it. I could see him getting overpriced for sure. Charles, what I wanted to ask you is, regardless of whether we take or keep Aaron Rodgers or not, or you could give me your opinion whether we keep him and then an opinion if we don't. Do you think we should draft a quarterback this coming draft? Like high, like first couple rounds?
Um,
I think you froze, Charles. Yep, looks like he froze. Yep, looks like Charles froze. So I think that it's worth drafting a quarterback, especially if you keep Rodgers. I think Rodgers he's stated that he's totally down to mentor. You know, he would embrace it at this point, and we got to have some young blood in there. Aaron's 41. Even if he wanted to play 2 more years, you can't. First of all, you can't guarantee it, and that's only 2 years at this point. So you got to get fresh blood in there. I think we kind of have to draft a quarterback this year in the first 2 rounds.
Do you see? It's tough, man. Because like,
I know we have so many needs. I'm with you. I get it.
well,
I
it's
get
not
it.
even. It's not that. It's that I do want to use a round 1 or 2 pick on one in 2026. So like I was of the mind of like my original plan was you take Travis last year in the fifth. This year you escalate that a little to maybe the third. You get another one, and so you got a fifth rounder and a third rounder, and then the following year you have a first. So you have a 5, a 3, and a 1 all competing in 2026. Like, if you use one this year, does it preclude you or prevent you from taking one the year after?
I don't care if they see a guy that they think has the talent, draft him. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can have 2 like potentially good quarterbacks. Like if the first one hits, then trade the other one away. As long as he hasn't been out on the field showing that he's a bust, you're still going to get something out of him. I think that even what's his name that got drafted to the Cardinals the Sam Darnold year, Rosen. I think whenever Rosen got traded from the Cardinals, like they still gave a good bit for him, even though he had already shown he wasn't that good. Who was it? The Dolphins?
Dude, we traded Zach Wilson.
I don't remember.
We traded Zach Wilson. Like, it's possible.
Yeah, and he threw down the bag that said bust on it and hit it with a baseball bat for like 72 hours straight in front of the entire audience of the world, and they still somehow got compensation out of him. So,
you know what? I think Charles had to go like radio silent in the house. I think it was what's that called? Curfew or whatever. I don't know. Quiet hour. We have a third voice again, though, a different one. And I want to collect takes with this. We talked about it, man. 27 different angles. I hope you callers have a few of them yourself, because, like I said, we haven't thought of everything, and there's more to come. So, without further ado, let's go down south for this one. How about that?
There he is.
What's happening, fellas?
What's up, Ricky?
Not a whole lot. I'm kind of the opinion that I would rather not be back at all this year, because the class is, in my opinion, it's really that bad. I mean, if this was any other draft class, like the top two quarterbacks, the consensus top two that will go first, like neither one of those guys are even worth a top 5 pick. But it's just the fact that there isn't anybody else. And I was listening to a show about an hour or so before you started, and it was like a draft show, and the guy gave a pro comp for Shedeur Sanders, and he said if he really develops and does well at the next level, I could see him developing into a Geno Smith type player. And I'm like, that's it? that is he's gonna go?
That's his ceiling.
And so yeah, like, so if Geno's his ceiling, and I mean, yeah, like I mean, if it gets to be, pick 180 or 210 or something like that, yeah, maybe I grab like Dylan Gabriel from Oregon or something, just for the hell of it. And if he turns into something, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But I mean, honestly, I would rather not even waste the pick, because the way that I look at it is like, what if we're a 7 or 8 win team next year, first year under whoever the new coach is or whatever. Drew Aller went back to school this year with another year of college under his belt. He could be even better next year. But I mean, I'm thinking we could probably get a guy like that between 12 and 14, in that class, and probably not even have to trade up that much to do it. Like, and that's the one thing that, oh God, that guy that Jake had on the other day. Oh my God.
And that's the guy, Frankie. Yeah, that's what spawned all this. But hey, some people are like that. They I don't know. I think that they just got so annoyed with us missing on QBs that they want to take a sure thing, and the only way to do that is to have a top pick.
I don't like the talk of tanking for this year for a draft pick. Now we're talking about not only sucking this year, but we're going to tank the whole next year. And he's like, I just don't see. And it's like, dude, you do realize that these guys get paid millions of dollars to go out there every week, right? Do you think Woody's going to be happy paying guys millions of dollars when they go out and try to lose on purpose? And you know what? That's the other thing is, the tape on these guys, that's like their fucking job resume. They don't want a bunch of crappy tape, for a better draft pick that'll be here when they may not even be, whether it be, leaving in free agency, wanting to trade, auditioning for another job, or trying to get re-signed with our team, whatever, the tape matters. And, man, my problem is I think I went from being so dead set on wanting one particular guy in the draft, and now that I've have come to realize that that's just not going to happen. Now I'm of the opinion that I want to trade back for more picks and really, really load up, because there's a lot of guys that I like. There's a lot of guys.
Ricky, and that's the thing. We all get heartbroken. There's always like a guy every year that we all want, and everybody knows is going to be good. But then it's like, oh shit, we can't get him because he's getting taken first or second overall, and we have the 6th pick or whatever.
Yeah.
But Dane has been pushing hard for that trade back thing, and I'm not against it either, because we have a lot of holes to fill, and you can pick solid guys in that late first round, early second round, mid second round.
Dude,
you can pick a lot of solid.
there's
a lot
like
of solid
6
talent
guys
there.
that I love that I want to draft.
But
And I
one
know
thing
I
I did want to push back on that you mentioned earlier, Ricky, you were talking about this quarterback class in the draft, right? They say it's not very good this year.
no, it's not.
And they've said that about quarterback classes before and been completely wrong. I've said it for years. Quarterback is a shit show. It's a crapshoot in the draft. You know, like look at 2017. Only 2 quarterbacks were taken in the first round. Mitch Trubisky and Patrick Mahomes. You know, Trubisky went like 2nd overall. Mahomes went 10th. You know, and you know Mahomes going to be a Hall of Famer. Trubisky's probably a solid backup somewhere right now. You never know what it's going to be like. But one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time came out of that class, and it was supposed to be one of the worst classes, right? It's just you never know. That's the point I'm getting across. So I can't rule out drafting a quarterback. Look at like Lamar Jackson was taken 32nd overall, right? First round, 32nd overall, and he's about to win his 2nd MVP in a row.
And I can't believe it unless. But dude, you know what? J.J. Watt wasn't like a top pick. Derwin James fell all the way to 17. I mean, we got Garrett at 10.
Yeah.
So
T.J. Watt was 2nd round, I think, or late first, one of the two.
TJ
yeah,
Watt?
I was talking about J.J. but because he went in like the teens or something.
Yeah, well, I was just saying T.J. Watt was like I think a 2nd round pick for the Steelers. So
yeah, like stuff like that happens, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Was it Laramie Tunzel that had the shit with the bong and he fucking fell way the hell fucking back and which, man, I'll tell you what, I know that I have serious buyer's remorse over Tyron Smith, but dude, Laramie Tunzel reset the market for tackles again, and fucking he looks like Laramie Turnstile this year. Fucking he has not been good at all. He's finally starting to fall off.
Charles, were you
Daniel
gonna
Murphh, TJ
add
Watt was
something?
drafted 30th in 20. He was drafted 30th in 2017 in the first round.
okay, so yeah, it was late first round that they got him.
Yeah.
And he's a Hall of Fame player, guaranteed.
Both players are Hall of Famers. You kidding me?
Yeah.
JJ Watt was a stud. Loved him. Classy guy as well. TJ Watt's a dog too.
I do, Ricky. I want to touch on what you said about trading back.
Yeah, but you're too loud. I'm trying to go to bed.
All right, I'll keep my voice down.
You better be down, or I'll take the whole.
Dane, are you muted?
There we go. About trading back, though, I do think that it may be our best option. Sorry, I got a dog here chewing, but I think it's our best option because we're going to have so many holes, and guess what? We, like I said before, are not going to be the destination that we thought we were going to be this offseason last year. So what's the best way of getting talent in here? It's drafting them, because then they're stuck. They're hostages, So if you can trade back, if you're 7th overall and you can slide to 12th and pick up a 3rd, slide to 16th, pick up a 4th. Like,
yeah, you know what?
Trade back 4 times. I don't care.
Some of the mocks that I've been doing are like that. Like I'll trade back to like 13, then I'll trade back to like 19, then I'll trade back to like 25, and I keep picking up like more 2nd and 3rd round picks, and then I get to pick all the guys that I wanted. But dude, that's not realistic. And like I had some where I traded back a bunch of times, but then I ended up with like 12 draft picks, and I'm thinking we'd never have the money to sign them. Like you
I know
get too crazy
when you're mocking, trades in a mock are impossible. But dude, what we do have to remember is it will be a new regime, and they're not going to have 12 months to evaluate a Cam Ward, a Shador Sanders. They might be able to see the combine and stuff like that, but like what are the odds they do want a quarterback high this year? Most likely, they're going to want the bridge year and then next spring take their quarterback. So maybe they do slide back. I mean, we already got a left tackle. What else are you going to take in the top 10 and say, this is what I'm starting my tenure with? This is my
Right,
blue chipper.
exactly. Well, no, the thing is I think, we could get really good value, moving back into say the early 20s and picking up another second. Uh, as opposed like dude, like it's completely possible that like Will Johnson, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham are all gone by the time we pick at like 9 if we're where we are right now. Like that's not out of the realm of possibility. And like if that happened, I would definitely be trading back. As granted, you have to have a partner to trade back, but um, one
Those
thing that I
listen,
can
those high picks don't necessarily guarantee like good players. Like a lot of that is in development too. Like if you get good coaching in here, you get a good coaching staff, that makes a huge difference. Like I'm just pointing back to the fact, like remember the Rams, the F those picks years? They
oh
would
yeah,
have like 3 picks the entire draft. It'd be like a third rounder, a fifth rounder, and a sixth rounder. That's all
yeah,
they
and
would
then
have.
their fifth
And
rounder is
all
like
three of
Puka
those dudes would
Nakua.
be studs. They were killing it those years. And it's crazy. So I'm just saying, like, if you get the right coaching in here,
Oh
it
yeah,
makes a
I
hell of a
agree.
difference.
Now the one thing that I'm gonna say is under Robert Saleh, we had coaches at the Senior Bowl every year, and I'm wondering if that continues this year, if it's the organization or if it's something with his coaching staff, because there's a couple of guys there that are going to be there that are really interesting to me.
Best
Um,
believe if they hire Nagy, they'll be there.
right. So yeah, I'm curious about that. And man, yeah, there's a few players that I've been looking at, which I just got done. The last player that I looked at, I watched like 9 hours of film on a linebacker, and at first I was like, yeah, Sherwood's good, but you know what? There's nothing to say that Sherwood comes back. Sherwood might say, "Fuck that! I'm testing free agency." You know,
A
I'm going to be,
hundred percent.
and so,
100.
oh my god,
They
dude,
sh-
that
they should have signed him last year.
I actually, in addition to the other two videos that I sent you on Discord, I sent you a video of that linebacker kid, Harold Perkins from LSU. Oh my god, dude, he is like a freaking heat-seeking missile out there. Like that was some fun tape to watch. Uh,
What's his name,
the
Ricky?
safety from South Carolina that's just a complete ball hawk. You know, like when I'm watching a safety and like his highlights start out with a couple of pick sixes in a row, like I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I could see that. Like I hopefully this new regime will not be like the last one and say, oh, we just don't value safeties because why set yourself up with a weakness, if you're supposedly all in. But uh, and then the wide receiver too that I like a lot that could just be scary with the right coordinator. But yeah,
We'll have to
there's
we'll
a lot
have to get
of fun.
into we'll have to get into the specific guys this spring for sure. Because like, dude, I haven't even looked at any of it yet. I know some guys in the top 10, like Harlan mentioned a top 10 pick going to defensive tackle or defensive end. I know Mason Graham from Michigan and I know Abdul Carter from Penn State, but outside of that,
Yeah.
nobody. And I
Um.
think they're both gone at pick number 8, which is where actually we might even have dropped to 9 now last night, or we dropped to 8. We lost a spot, so uh, we're probably not going to be able to take even those guys.
Yeah, but there's like Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle from Oregon, and Walter Nolan, the one from Ole Miss, I believe, that are both really good too, as well as Tyleek Williams from Ohio State, who's my favorite defensive tackle, who's ranked like I think right now they have him ranked like uh, 31st overall or something like that. But I see him going in like the mid 20s. But like, yeah, to me, like you could easily trade back and pick one of those guys that's going to be a damn good defensive tackle for you, and have extra picks to use on other players.
I was just looking at Tankathon, Dane, because I was like, damn, we're all the way down to like we're always. Or I didn't think that we were 9. I figured we were like 6 or something. And I'm like, my God, there's a lot of bad teams. And I'm like, well, if there's a lot of bad teams, there's a lot of good teams. And there, with 2 games left in the season, there is already 5 teams that have won 12 games. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
A lot of
'Cause I-
domination.
Yeah, that's the thing. The middle isn't as wide as it used to be. You know, there's how many is there that have 10 or more losses? Do you
You
still
know
have
what?
it up?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
glad
10
we're
10
not
teams with
picking
10
in the
losses.
top 5 because
A third of
dude,
the
let me
league.
tell you what, if we used a top 5 pick on Shador Sanders and he came here and he struggled and he stunk, and then we had his dad's big mouth getting in the middle of everything, the New York media would have a fucking field day. It would be the biggest shit show ever. No,
Yeah,
I'm good.
I'd
I'm good on
be
that. And
upset.
watch, if he goes to the Giants, it may still happen. Oh, I don't wish that on them, but I can see it.
I'd be shocked if they lobbied for New York. I would be. I would be shocked. I think like
He
a
doesn't want to go.
Vegas.
He doesn't want to go to New York.
Yeah. So yeah.
The Giants will probably take Ward, and Shador may fall all the way down to Vegas, but who knows, man? Maybe Tennessee or somebody takes a swing at him before that. There's no telling.
Charles, what do you think?
Who was that linebacker from LSU?
Harold Perkins.
Harold Perkins. Okay, he's a middle linebacker, not an outside
Yes.
linebacker.
Middle linebacker.
That's cool.
Reminds me of like a Quincy, just super fucking fast. Just man, he was just everywhere. Like that was some of the funnest film I've watched in quite a while. I had a really good time studying that kid.
I don't think we should draft a quarterback in this year's upcoming draft. I mean, maybe in later rounds, but not in the first round.
That's what
I
I'm
think we
saying.
should-
Like super fucking late, 5th or 6th or something. Like I said, take a shot at the kid from Oregon or something, because that's a pro style offense. So at least he's, used to running an NFL offense, even if he isn't ranked up, topmost among talent.
You know what? If I'm a Jet fan, I highly recommend January 1st watching Dylan Gabriel go against the Buckeyes because he is a guy we could target round 3, round 4, round 5. Watch him. Determine for yourself, guys, if it's someone you think that can compete with Jordan Travis and then the next guy and the next guy. And then come back and call into the Danger Zone and let us know what you think about Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, and that's Ohio State. I'm pretty sure is the number 1 ranked defense right now in NCAA. So that's a hell of a test for him. If he performs well against them,
and the other thing is number 91, Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle from Ohio State, best run stuffer in the entire country. So pay attention to him during that game too, because that's who I'd love for the Jets to pick to go next to Quinnen. Green Bean, that's also his favorite player in the draft too. So.
One thing I know that we can look forward to
I'm not worried about that
with
at
this
all.
new coaching staff coming in is we don't have to worry about rotating out our good players 40% of the snaps.
No shit.
I think that alone can make a difference. Like we've had such a bad run defense and stuff. Well, it's like, well, we have our backups in for literally 40% of the snaps or more.
Our run defense under Saleh was atrocious.
Yeah. That makes a difference, man.
I think we had a pretty good run defense under Rex, I think.
Yes. Yeah. We were first in the league one of the years. I think it was 2009.
I don't think we've ever been able to stop screens, but
Oh my god, that's annoying.
overall, dude, when we had Chris Jenkins and Sione Pauha, like you
Was
were
another
not
good one.
running up, dude. You weren't running up the middle. You weren't.
Mm-mm.
Remember Snacks Harrison?
Yep. Yeah, he was another good one.
That's the thing. We've had a history of a lot of good run stuffers too, and then it just kind of fell off when Salah came into play. You know,
Yeah.
it's rough. Who was the one after Snacks Harris? Oh, Fadukasi. That was the other one.
Yeah,
Was,
Bully
he was,
Fatukasi.
yeah, he was a stud too.
I think he's on the Texans, I think.
I think you're right.
So
He's with the Jags, I think, and then he went to the Texans. Yeah.
They're down in
dude,
second now, right?
Fatukasi went to the Texans. Jordan Jenkins went to the Texans. Neville Hewitt went to the Texans. Like a lot of our cast-offs have ended up with the Texans lately.
How about Frankie Luvu getting that massive contract with the Commanders?
He's been great for them.
Mm-hmm.
And Blake Cashman went to the Houston Texans first before he ended up wherever he is now, didn't he?
Yes, and now he's with
Carolina. Then he went to Washington. He's having a good career with them so far.
Yeah, Luvu. Blake Cashman was Texans. I think he's with the Vikings now.
Yeah, I know he's somewhere else now, but yep.
I'm actually happy Sam Darnold's doing well in Minnesota. He's got a good team around him.
Yeah.
You know,
he's a good
he's
guy.
got
I mean,
probably the best weapon in the entire NFL to throw to, so that certainly does not hurt.
Justin Jefferson, in my opinion, is the best receiver in the NFL. But
yeah,
I tell you what, though, that dude Jamar Chase is no scrub either.
Nope, he's not a scrub either.
Who else?
Cashman is Vikings, by the way, just to clarify.
Who would you say is the number 3 wide receiver in the NFL, Charles?
Number 3? Oh, shit. That's a good question.
I don't know if I don't know if he has the numbers to back it up this year, but any other year it would have been AJ Brown.
What are numbers anyway? Your stats are how many times you get targeted, man. If you ask me, like, CeeDee Lamb,
still pretty good.
He had, dude. Like, I watched this fucking video and it like went over all his stats and it was crazy. Like, yards per route run, yards per reception, yards after the catch, and like he was the top at everything. And it's like the year that Cooper Kupp broke all the records, like AJ Brown was second right behind him. The year before that, it was like Justin Jefferson and AJ Brown was right behind him. And he was like, and he did this in Tennessee and in Philly, 2 of the most run heavy offenses in the entire NFL. And he still put up those numbers. Like last year, he started with 5 or 6 games in a row of more than 125 yards. Like, dude, that guy's a lot fucking better than people give him credit for. A lot better.
I was gonna, I'm glad Clancy brought this up. Amon-Ra St. Brown is, no disrespect to Jameson Williams and Patrick, but to me, you can argue that Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL and the best wide receiver
he's
the Lions
definitely
have
top
had
10
since Calvin Johnson.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I can agree with that.
St. Brown was what, a 4th round pick, and we took Elijah Moore. Imagine we had Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
At the end of the first quarter in last week's game, the leading receiver for the Lions, which was St. Brown, and the leading receiver for the Jets, which was Tyler Conklin, both had 2 catches for 32 yards. Fun fact.
How many targets? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you target CD, okay, it's hard to say.
CeeDee Lamb, if it wasn't for injuries and then Dak going down really and things like that, CeeDee Lamb would probably be right up there.
Oh, he's also definitely top 10. Definitely. Very good. Fucking
Jerry
Terry
Judy's having a
McLaurin,
great year too.
also a lot fucking better than people give him credit for.
Jerry Judy's
Do
having
you,
a big year, and he had a
do you-
monster game versus the Broncos.
Jerry Judy? Yeah, we almost had him. We almost had him.
I remember so many Jet fans wanted that brother.
I
Yeah.
didn't, because there was rumors at the time
I
of
didn't.
Judy or Sutton getting traded to us, and I didn't want
Sutton
either
I
of
would have
them.
taken.
I like
Nah,
Sutton. He's a
I'm
great
good.
receiver.
Sutton I would have taken.
I'm good.
I
Not
think
to
it's
like
trade
Sutton.
for him. Nah.
You don't like Sutton, Dana?
I'm not trading for him. I mean, would I sign him in free agency? Maybe, but to like shell out draft picks, if you're gonna give a third rounder, why don't you just go draft a third rounder? You know,
That's what I'm
where
saying.
I'm
But
at.
do you like Sutton as a wide receiver?
Not as a 1. If he's a 2, sure.
I think he's a
Yeah,
great
with
receiver. To
Garrett.
be honest with you,
Sure.
he's got some great hands. Made some great.
He is
made
good.
some great catches last year too.
What I like about him is like there's none of these running fuck routes that stop just short of the sticks and trying to make guys miss. Like he gets to the sticks. Like when he catches fucking balls, they're first downs. Like he converts a lot of first downs. He's very good about knowing where he is on the field, which is something that we have not been good at. So that's one reason I really liked him.
Puka Nakua was pretty damn good too. Cooper
Oh
Cup,
yeah.
T. Higgins.
You guys
Uh,
aren't put. What about
Cup is
Brock?
falling off a little bit.
But he's still pretty damn good though.
What about Brock Bowers?
He's a tight end.
He's good, but it's not winning him any games. So
All right, but back to 2025. Are you guys gonna make this team as good as you can this spring, or are you gonna hold back a little
Always.
bit of money for the next year?
no, I'm doing what I can every single year.
I'm not really a tank person. I'll never forget. I know this is going to be a little bit random. I'll never forget in 2017 when we signed Josh McCown as a free agent. People were saying I'm tanking. We're tanking. I'm like, we haven't even played a fucking down yet, and you're saying we're tanking? I never understood that.
I mean, that did feel like a tank move, though. I mean, McCown was never any good in the league. He was actually decent for us that year, but
It
like
was okay. Yeah,
before that, he was never any good.
that
He
did
had a
feel
great
like
year
a
with the
very
Bears one year.
half-hearted effort going into the year, though.
He did have a great year for the Bears in 2013 when he threw 13 touchdowns, 1 interception.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
You know what? Clancy's right though, man. Like we need these dominoes to start falling into place. Like we can't wait on so I get you wait on GM, but like as soon as teams start getting eliminated, I'm setting up those interviews because like the longer you wait, then more teams. Hey, I'm gonna fire my GM. Like right now, we're like what? Are we the only team without a GM? I think we might be. Like
Yeah.
the longer we wait, then there's 2, there's 3. I mean, luckily there is gonna be very few firing their GMs this year. So like, or head coaches even. Like it's a good year to be looking, is what I'm saying. But like,
Right.
don't wait forever. Don't wait till March, man. They got a draft to prepare for.
Yep.
Yeah. So who's missing head coaches right now?
The Bears.
Us, the Saints, the Bears. Is that it?
I expect Jacksonville to be, but they aren't yet either.
Huh.
Saints, Bears, Jets.
Yeah. And the Saints and the Bears said that they're keeping their GM. So right now, I believe it's just us for GM. But
Just
like
us
you
for
said,
GM.
Jacksonville could be an option towards the end of the season and stuff.
Vegas. I've heard wild, like I've heard anything from Pierce is staying and he's gonna take Shador to Lesko staying. I've also heard that they're all gone and Vrabel will be there, and they'll take Sanders. I've heard Vrabel will be there and they won't take Sanders. Like, who knows what they'll do is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, there's
But
no telling with them, and you know Cleveland can always fire Stefanski too.
But he just won Coach of the Year last year.
No, actually, I did see something about them saying that they're keeping both their GM and head coach
Oh, did
and
they?
quarterback.
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah, they adjusted Watson today too, so he's
Yeah.
definitely
Oh,
there
okay,
for
okay.
two
I
more
didn't see
years. So
Yeah.
that I don't know about that move, but
You know, Stefanski's crying right now. He's like, "Oh God, I'm stuck with this guy another year."
we thought we had it bad. I would not. You couldn't
Oh my
couldn't
God,
pay me
yeah.
to take Deshaun Watson's contract, man. You couldn't.
Hell no! I'll take Rodgers over Watson any day of the week.
Mhm.
I still can't believe how bad Watson has been for Cleveland.
Yeah. Well,
Man,
see, there's something to be
like-
said for taking a long time out of football. You come back, you may not be the same.
I was about to
too many
say that was
massages.
the worst fall off since Le'Veon Bell.
Hmm. Yeah, and I kind of wonder about coaching too. Like everybody, like a lot of people have said, "Oh, bring Rex back, bring Rex back." I don't know, man.
No.
He hasn't been in coaching in a long time.
No.
NFL's changed a lot since then.
You know what? Scott's got a great question here because I've heard about this too. Do we actually believe that Kraft would cut bait for Mayo just to get Vrabel?
No,
I don't think
because
so.
Mayo was a former Patriot too, and I don't think they're going to get rid of him after 1 year. I don't buy it.
There was rumors that they paid Mayo to keep him on the staff to groom him to be Belichick's replacement, and Belichick didn't want to leave yet. And Kraft kind of told him like, "Hey, you're going to have to hit the bricks because like we're ready for fresh blood to bring Mayo up, you know."
Mayo,
So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's any legitimacy to those rumors, but I don't think they're
People
going
are
to do it, and I don't
just
think the
connecting
Raiders are going to
dots.
move on from Pierce yet either.
That
What was that,
one
Ricky?
wouldn't surprise me as much, but dude, I don't think Vrabel wants the Patriot job. I mean, people think that he'll go there just because he was a Patriot. I don't think he wants that job, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. Why would he want the Jet job though? Either.
Dude, our roster is loaded. I mean, you can look at several games this year that we lost basically because of coaching.
Drake May would entice me if I was a head coach. I don't think any of us want to admit it, but I think he is the quarterback of their future.
They have pieces.
No, he
They
doesn't look
they
bad.
don't. Their roster isn't as good as ours, but they have pieces. You know, I mean, I like Christian
they do.
Gonzalez. Like I think he's going to be a stud. You know,
Yep.
Stevenson's not bad.
yeah,
Kyle
that
Duggar.
defensive tackle that they got's pretty good. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Barmore.
Yes, Christian Barmore. He's pretty solid.
Yep.
And
It's Wilford though.
I bet my life that here in a couple months they'll have a two-way player on their team too.
Who? Travis Hunter?
Yep.
Oh my God.
They will.
That feels. I don't know why that feels like that's going to happen, but it does.
It so does, man. In my bones, I feel that. Like it's just gonna happen, man.
It will.
I mean, they could trade down, but I see them. He'll be a Hall of Famer.
Dude, if the order stays the way it is, it's gonna be Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, and Will Johnson 1, 2, 3 right off the board, just like that. Guarantee.
Hunter will be 4. Probably. What we got? All the draft order?
This is the draft order along with the corresponding point totals. So, and this is a really good slide to look at because when you talk sliding back, like you slide back 5 spots, say you pick up 300 points. Well, 300 points, that's a third round pick, a second round pick? Like to slide back 5 spots? Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. I was doing it twice in my mocks and picking up picks like in the 40s and 50s each time, in addition to moving back, and like it was totally worth it.
But I mean, what will people trade up for that we don't want? I mean, would you say just a left tackle and that's like all?
No, because this offensive line class is crappy. But there's some really good passers, some good receivers.
Well,
So
then why would why
there's a
would we
lot of
trade
good
down
choice.
then? You missed my question. I'm saying if we want to trade down and someone's where it takes two to tango, what situation would we trade? Like, it's got to be something that they want and we don't. Does that make sense?
Right. Well, that's when you hope that a team's got their eye on a particular player or something.
Yeah, I mean, it takes two to tango, man. It's hard to guess. We can sit here and say trade down all day, but there may not be any options.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've seen JD trying to trade in other drafts
See
before
it,
and
Charles.
wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's what they were saying with like the Broderick Jones thing. Like we couldn't. I don't know. There's. It's hard to say. I
What?
just
Okay.
want to bring in good talent, regardless of how we do it. Like we don't have to have certain amount of picks in certain places. Like the more picks, the better. I feel like, but if we nail it on like, I think
The
we have
ones we
two
do
thirds,
make,
don't we?
yeah.
Where is that? I thought we had two thirds.
No, because we gave up one. What for
Oh,
Ray
Devontae, I bet.
or Devontae? One
Yeah.
of the two.
Dan, you're muted, buddy.
I got you guys distracted on sliding down. The reason why we brought this up was the Travis Hunter to New England debate.
Oh,
If this stands pat, and the Pats are at 2,
They
do
take
you
him.
think do they take him there? Do they slide back one or two picks? What do you
No, I
guys
think they'll
think?
stick and pick right there.
Okay. What about you, Daniel?
I mean, if it's me, if I'm them, I'm trying to slide back because I think that I could still get them at like 4 or something. But it feels very New Englandish to just take them. Yeah, you know.
So the Giants, Patriots, Jags. Ricky, do you have a prediction for 1, 2, 3? Giants,
Yep.
Patriots, Jags.
Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Will Johnson. And I would almost put, I would put, you know what? I would put money on those being the top three picks right now. I would definitely put money on it. I have no doubt at all that's the way it's going to go down. None.
All right, I'm clipping it. You think Jackson? What will they do with Lawrence? Will they just have Will Johnson sit and learn for a year? Do you think
No,
they
Will
try to
Johnson's
trade?
Will Johnson's
Oh,
the corner, and
oh,
he
that's okay. Never mind.
yeah, and he's going and sadly, I think it's going to be like Jalen Ramsey all over again. He's good, but I don't think he's enough to save that team by himself. But shit, he's my number one overall player. Period. Like if we had the number one overall pick, that's who I'd say to take. I mean, obviously you would be taking a quarterback in that situation probably, but barring teams needing a quarterback, like he's clear cut number one player in this draft for me, like hands down, not even close, not even close.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky's probably spot on with those top three. I could see Sanders. I could see him weaseling into that first pick. If there's one thing that Coach Prime's good at, it's building the hype machine. I could see something like that happening. But I could also see Cam Ward. The dude's got a lot of physical talent, so he starts getting out there and throwing on those pro days and running 40s and things like that. That might build the hype machine too. So it's hard to tell, but it's definitely quarterback Travis Hunter, Will Johnson.
Yep.
Whichever way you slice it. As of right now, the way the draft is sitting. That thing that you pulled up had us at 8, but when I looked at Tankathon, we're 9 now. So
Yeah, we're 9 now.
For until Sunday.
yeah, until Sunday.
Because Jacksonville has 12 losses. If their strength of schedule though is shit, so if we don't want to tie Jacksonville because they'll be ahead of us somehow though. Like I don't know. Do you guys think do we win a game?
I don't even know at this point. Like at one point I was thinking, if Kansas City wins, Buffalo get locked into the 2 seed, they might rest players or something. But like I don't even think it matters. Like I think if we were playing backups, we'd find a way to shoot ourselves in the foot. Like this season has turned into such an atrocity. After last week, going for it twice on 4th down deep in our own territory, both times resulted in points for the other team. It's like we weren't even trying. I was like, man, and people want to make a big deal because Garrett was pissed. I was pissed. Like, holy shit.
We all were.
Like imagine busting your ass and then your coach is just giving the game away. Like that. Man, like there was no excuse for some of that shit, and he just proved why he shouldn't be a coach.
Yeah, dude, Buffalo's had a couple rough.
Just wanted to.
Buffalo's had a couple rough games these past couple weeks. I feel like, they're going to come in and spank us, dude. Like, they're going to come in and spank us. Maybe we'd have a random shot at Miami, but we haven't been able to prove to beat them lately either. So no. I don't see us winning any more games.
Probably not, sadly. I mean, I would love to. Don't get me wrong. I'll win any game that I can. Now, it sure would be nice to be able to flip-flop draft positions with fucking Jacksonville. And I would still take Will Johnson in that spot, but
hey, we beat them, right? We probably shouldn't have, but I can't imagine this place if we lost 10 out of 11. Like, yeah, whatever, it's over. We are not a worse team than them. So
no,
I get wanting to lose it, but like just look at the teams on page. Did you deserve to lose it?
Yeah,
like,
and Tennessee is another team that we actually beat that's ahead of us in the draft order as well, and I don't see them winning any more games either. Like, that's the thing. There's like, other bad teams that are ahead of us, but I don't think we can pass any of them because they're all so bad that I don't see them winning any games either. Like I really don't think much is going to change between now and the end of the year, unfortunately.
And I can't believe the disparity, dude, in the NFL this year. We've won 4 games. That's probably all we're going to win, and we're still going to pick like 9th.
Well, the thing is, the Titans play the Jags this week, so one of them is going to win.
Well, at least one. Yeah, well, that's true, because
but we beat both of them.
Has to win.
So I don't know.
Nah. So yeah, we're going to be picking 8th, 10th,
8th at best,
somewhere in there. 8th at best.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah. Alan's just shooting. We're stuck on the draft, which it bugs me because like we're gonna have the draft to talk about for 4 months, and we're staring at 2 games, which we can look at, but like, what's to even say about it? For one, it's gonna be a rain and slush fest. Like, does that play in our favor? Because I don't even know anymore. But I think we have a chance against Miami. This one, here's the thing. if our pass game is working, we can beat anyone as long as our head is out of our ass. So I can't definitively say, yes, we're going to lose by 10, because there is a chance that all the things line up.
it
But
would be
if
just
you're
like
betting
us to,
money,
like,
you're betting the
win one
Bills.
game at the end of the year just to drop a couple more slots or something.
But that's the thing. When
I
when
don't
has
care,
things
though.
come together? Like our passing, our offense. Like when has our offense came together and our heads haven't been out of our ass on defense? Like you know what I mean? Like
Right.
the past couple games, like we've looked good on offense, and like we still found a way to lose. Like that's what we've been doing all year. We've been finding a way to lose.
Yep.
Frustrating, man.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question. Here's a hypothetical. You split these last two. Which one do you want to win?
Miami.
Probably
We
Miami.
beat Buffalo last year. We haven't beat Miami in a while. I want to beat Miami.
Yeah, especially with Tua. Yeah, Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That noise down in Miami. If they lose to us, like, and they would be what 5-12 or something on the year, or no? Did they win? They won 7, right?
They were 6.
Yeah,
I think 6.
6 somewhere in there. But like, I think their noise down there is already gonna be loud. But if they lose to us, the final game of the season, I would just laugh. I'll laugh, man. I will. Well, Ricky, any final words from you, brother?
Nope. All I can
7.
say is, this year our coaching staff let us down. We had a great roster and they squandered it. And unfortunately, Rodgers dealt with some injuries. Some other things didn't pan out the way we wanted, but if there's a silver lining, it's that this bullshit is almost over with, and we get to start a brand new regime. Hopefully we get that Ray Agnew, Aaron Glenn connection that I want, and he'll bring in a nice offensive guy for us, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just getting this team turned around, because this team is just too damn good to lose games, and to lose games the way that we're losing them. And so
you don't want to tank all next year?
Hell no, man. Like no. Like tanking is something that fans talk about. Like guys inside the NFL locker room, and nobody's going out there trying to lose games. Just
I agree. It might be something that you like secretly closet kind of hope for, but like to actively like botch end a game situation,
exactly.
To go for it on fourth,
like I said, a better draft pick is just the silver lining if you do lose, but to lose should never be the goal. You always want to win every game, regardless.
I'm with you, man. Well, hey, have a good night, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, Ricky.
Take it easy, man.
Later. Good dude.
Always good company.
Yes, dude, and I'll be more plugged into the NCAA stuff here in a couple weeks, I guess you could say, and it'll make his takes hit home even more. Right now, he sounds like a savant, and I'm like a dumb, deaf idiot. We're not on the same but eventually it'll be like, okay, that's who he meant.
Yeah.
I should watch more college ball. It's just when do you get time? You're all weekend if you're doing, you know what I mean? Sunday already, I watch kickoff to kickoff. I don't know. I couldn't do it both days.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. In the NFL, you have fantasy and stuff that keeps you in on every game, even if it's not your team. For me in college ball, it's just I care about WVU, and that's about it. Maybe I'll watch an Ohio State game or something here or there, but or a national championship, I'll watch that. I might have random games on, but I
Yeah,
don't really pay attention heavily. Definitely not specifically on one player here and there.
Scott here. He said there's always a head up and ass somewhere. Speaking of Scott, he said he's going to join us here in a minute. I don't know when you need a break, but just know that he is calling in shortly. I want to get you guys' take on around the league, who you think will win each game. Fantasy football championship this week, man. Are you still alive in any?
Yeah, the one league that I have no money invested in at all. I'm in the championship. Yeah, and it's
Hey,
the way it's structured is it's like 2 weeks combined points, and I was down 12 points the first week, so I need a big week this week to be able to pull it off, but there's no money invested, so even if
dude,
I
that
lose, whatever. It's Knobcraft is
the
that's who I'm up against. Great knob.
dude the 2 week playoff though, like each round is 2 weeks. It sucks starting the playoffs like a little early, or you only have four teams make it. That kind of sucks. But like once you're in the playoffs, it's nice to have because like look, you would have been eliminated, but like it smooths things out because like you might have one great week. You shouldn't win just because like I don't know. I always liked the leagues I was in that did 2 weeks per
Yeah,
matchup. It seemed like a nice way of finding out who the real best team
because you never know
was.
if you're going to have a stinker. Like if you've been dropping like 135 plus all year long, and then you get in the playoffs and you have like a 110 game, that
Yes,
sucks. So, but
it does. It
yeah,
does.
I'm with you on that. So yeah, it's me and Nob going at it, but he got me the first week. We'll see if I can make a comeback here.
Speaking of stinkers, man, there's been nothing but already
Ugh.
week 17. We've had 3 games and we've had 2 snoozers or 3 snoozers. Sorry. Did you watch the games on Christmas?
I'll be honest with you. I watched a little bit of the Steelers Kansas City game, and that was like it was already over by the time I started watching it. Like it was like I don't know 29-16 or something. It was crazy, but yeah, I didn't watch the other one at all, and I thank God because that looked awful.
Hey, fellas.
Scott,
Look who it
good brother.
is. Look what the cat drug in.
All right, Dane.
Thanks for joining us. I think Murph, if you got to cut away real quick, it's fine. Or if you need to wait a few, that's fine too. What's up, Scott? How was your Christmas?
It was cool. I watched a bunch of shitty football, though. But besides that, it was chill. I didn't go home with the family or anything. So,
Well, you're used to watching shitty football. You're a Jets fan, so it's okay.
this went beyond Jets. 31-2. Good Lord.
Mm-mm. That's awful. What was the one? 6-3.
Oh God. That was
Yeah,
last night.
Oh, I guess that wasn't Chris.
31-2. That was crazy. Like I don't think I've ever seen. That's got to be a scoregami. Like never
So
been
what
done.
are you guys thinking about C.J. Stroud? I personally am under the opinion he got crowned a little too quickly last year, and he might do better moving forward. But slow down, people.
Scott's out here yelling "bust."
Well, dude, his whole like media tour over the off season, where he was like talking on all these podcasts. I was so glad to see him actually eat some of these words. Like he talked. I mean, we all know he talked about Aaron Rodgers, and then guess what? That's one of the few teams that we got. Yeah. But like I saw a tweet the other day that had it on the money. They're like, C.J. Stroud outside of the numbers passing is not the same guy he was last year. And why? That's up to you guys. Like, you tell me, but like, yeah, did he get too big for his britches? Did he think it was too
Well,
easy?
Defensive coordinators had a year of tape to look at also. So
They watched that Jets game last year is what happened.
and Nico Collins was out for what, 5 games or something. That didn't help.
Tank Dell's out. Stephon Diggs has been out.
So
So and what's his name?
Tight
Ricky talked about him earlier. The left tackle. He hasn't been very good this year. Tunsil, yeah.
Tunsil.
it takes
Tunsil.
a team. It does. So, hear that, Rodgers haters? It's a team sport.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't
I agree.
blame Roger. Like the thing about the Jets is you cannot blame any one thing for. It's just been everything across the board. They just been taking turns, passing the baton back and forth. Who's going to suck this game?
100%.
And it's frustrating because you can't even blame something because it's just like everything has been shitty.
I think we can blame the coaching.
Yeah, we can always blame coaching.
What? Maybe if they don't fire Saleh, there's 2 or 3 more wins. I don't know. Maybe, but still, is that really what we were looking for?
No. Remember everybody screaming 14-3 and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. And, I said 12-5.
I said 12. Yeah. Yeah, and I thought I was taming myself.
Yeah, I intentionally went, I just can't say 14 or 13. Okay, 12 sounds good. But I also looked at the schedule, and it wasn't as difficult as last year's, I didn't think. And I really thought Buffalo was going to take a step back. And they haven't.
No, which is, that's kind of wild because I really did think they were going to be like 10-6 or 10-7 at best this year. But
and we all gave them wins against Denver, Minnesota, Arizona, and those were just easy wins. We don't have to think about those, and they all turned out to be losses.
Yeah, and then even the teams that are bad, like we lost to a couple teams that even this year are bad, and
New England.
Yeah, New England being one of them.
Gave up a last-second drive. Oh God, why am I reliving that?
And then if you think about it too, like San Francisco is 6-9.
Yeah, but they were more They were better earlier in the year. They were healthy, except for McCaffrey.
Yeah.
But yeah, true. They reached their ceiling, I think. I don't think we're going to see them be as good as they've been the last 5 years.
They peaked, you think? Hey, well then, since I brought up San Francisco, I want to ask you, Scott. I know that you are not a San Francisco fan at all, but if San Fran fires Kyle Shanahan, are you in on him?
For sure. It's so funny because I still watch some of the 49er people are turning on him big time right now. And
they were last year.
Yeah. Well, he's come up small in some big games. Let's not forget he was the offensive coordinator in Atlanta when they kept throwing the ball in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter when they could have just handed it off, eaten the clock, and won the game. But he tried to stomp on New England's face. And, and the head coach has to take responsibility too, because he's got to get in there and say, quit throwing the goddamn football and run it. Eat the clock. No one did that.
You're right. What do you think the odds are that they actually do cut bait?
0.
That's where I'm at. I mean, the only way is if you have a guy lined up that's like as good, if not better, right? Would they go the Rabel route? I don't
If
know.
they have another bad year next year, okay, maybe, but not. They were in the Super Bowl last year. They had a bunch of injuries this year, and their quarterback has not played as well. So my question is, who is he going to throw under the bus at the end of this season? Because he always throws someone under the bus at the end of every season. Who's it going to be? We'll see.
I mean, you got a guy though, like I don't know, was he the MVP No, he was on the cover of Madden though. That he never played a single snap for you. I mean, I guess the fan base don't care, but like, do the higher ups give him a pass for how many injuries that they've encountered? I mean, I don't know. Like you said, he comes up short in big games. How does he get bound? Well, he's already never mind. He's not even gonna make it this year.
Yeah, they're eliminated.
Um,
Yeah.
is he not the perfect guy to have as an OC? But like, I don't know, man.
I gotta believe.
Head coach.
I gotta believe teams are gonna line up to hire him if he gets fired. I don't see him beating those. And there's rumors about the Bears trading for him. So
You know what? There was rumors 2 years ago about Tomlin getting thrown out of town. That's so similar, if you ask me. Like, I think you just get used to even a certain level of success where it's like it goes back to what we were talking about. You're either going for the Super Bowl and winning, or you're rebuilding. If they're not winning Super Bowls, are they okay with being like right here? Do you gamble and try to get over the hump?
well,
I keep Shanahan though.
for sure.
That's
But you
crazy.
got to ask yourself, how many of these owners how many owners have this winning the Super Bowl as their top priority, or is it making money?
That's a good point, but like, is money being made not inevitable?
It is, but that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, no one's losing. I don't think anyone's losing money in the NFL. But I don't know how many of these owners really are that intense on winning the Super Bowl. They'd all like to do it, but they're raking in millions. That's why they're there.
So here's my question: like, does some fringe hirings like that, does them happening help us or hurt us, because then it's another job opening that's likely ahead of us? Like, yes, it's another candidate, but also it's another job opening. Like, where are you at? Would you rather us go into this cycle as one of like 3 teams looking, or would you rather us go with 6 teams looking, but maybe some guys that were just fired now available?
I would rather less teams looking, and because I'm not assuming any top quality coaches will get fired. So sure, if Shanahan gets fired, okay. Who else have we talked about? The guy in
McDaniel?
Cleveland, although Murph said they said they're keeping him around.
Stefanski. Yeah, what about McDaniel in Miami?
I don't want him. No, he's.
Mike McCarthy?
You know what? I always say I don't want him, and then I hear people talk about what a great coach he is, but it just seems like he makes so many buffoon moves. Who did I hear? Oh, I was listening to Alex Smith talk about what a great coach he was, and I was thinking, maybe then, I don't know. I mean, how many coaches are you going to have an option at that have won a Super Bowl?
True. Dom C, man, thanks for joining us. Glad to see you, man. We're just talking basically off season already. Sadly, I mean that's the spice of the community.
Vrabel,
Just curious, like
he's
Vrabel. No, well, what do you think our odds are getting Vrabel right now?
well, if what we're
Like,
hearing is true, they sound pretty good.
is he our? Well, I mean, they say is he the man for the job? Can he do it in New York? Very bland question. I know, like you don't have anything to go on, but like gut feeling.
I think
Because
but
next, here's the other thing. Do we need a Brit? Like, does he need to win some games next year? Can he tolerate a 2-15 year and still achieve what he needs to?
I don't think it's going to be a 2-15 year if Vrabel comes to town. I think we're going to see a more intense football team. I think we're going to see a team that gets penalized a lot less. Dane, I've told you, I don't think the Jets are as far away as a lot of people think. That's why I don't want to blow it up. Get a young quarterback to be behind, get their whole Rodgers contract thing straightened out with Adams as well. Get a young quarterback behind him for a year, maybe two, whatever. But I know.
I'm with you. So, like, you want to see more of a retooling.
I keep saying it. You go back on how many of these games, if the ball bounces a different way one time, the Jets win. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy to see how
it is.
They pretty much dominated the Rams, and they still can't win.
Facts.
It's just it's nuts.
Here's my question. If you run it back with Rodgers, because like I said before, we're going to cut the guy just so we can get biting on that dead money. But like, he comes back, I think he's going to take dirt cheap to give us another year or two. I really do. I think he's going to go real deep as far as discount goes, pay cut, whatever you want to call it. Because we're going to have to pay his dead money at the same time. So, like, he has to make his new contract salary low enough to tell that new regime, hey, I'm actually saving you money. I'm scratching your back. Can you scratch mine and let me go out with a little better than I just did? And I think that could work rather than going and buying a Justin Fields per se. If we do that, though, and Devontae, he works with us a little bit in the medium range on him. Do you think that enough free agents will say, hey, that is a destination with a Vrabel? Where are we at as far as how good of a destination we appear to be in March when everybody's playing musical chairs?
Yeah, most of those guys go where the people pay them. Oh, I don't think bringing in players will be a problem.
The thing about it is like when money is the attraction for a player, are you building a winning culture?
Money's an attraction for all players, though. I mean,
but I'm saying if that's
only, but
if that's the main factor a player is coming to you is just because of the money, I don't know if that's the type of team you want to build.
No. I'm saying, like, what if our contract and the Houston Texans are offering the same. Can Rodgers and Tay and Vrabel lure some that would have clearly went Texans a month ago? You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm at, whether, like, deciding is it worth it to bring Rodgers or should we just go brand new everything? You know what I mean? Could we make ourselves attractive enough to compete with the Texans in free agency?
Can I answer your question with a question? Is Rodgers alluring to players coming in? Are players like, I want to play with Aaron Rodgers? We knew that it was like that before. Is it still like that?
I can't answer that, but I think that he's more alluring than Stroud right now. No, well, and the reason why I picked Houston is because we're very similar to them, and D'Amico and Vrabel would be similar in my eyes. We're both not top end at our ceiling, you know, we're both not, like, we would be vying in the same area with them, I feel like. But, like, do you want to get a year in with a Hall of Famer before they retire? Are they going to win a ring in 2025? I don't think. Yeah. So, like,
they did last year, you know, but like Murph said, has that changed? I don't know. I don't, once again, I don't think they need to bring in a whole lot. Especially, yeah. I think they need to bring in more on the defensive side of the ball. And if do they care that Rodgers is the quarterback? I don't know. I mean, they'd rather play with him than Gardner Minshew, right? There's a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
We'll see. That's just going to be interesting. Like, I heard someone say something about the dominoes falling. That needs to start happening, and then we'll see where it's going to go.
New York Jets superfan in the house, and I see we do have a fourth voice. I think they're having some connectivity issues, though. When I see them pop in again, I'll bring them out. But New York Jets superfan in the house, their take is they think QB contracts will start to drop, and I want to get you guys' takes on this. You got Trevor Lawrence looking like a bad deal, Dak looking like a bad deal, Tua. You see where I'm going. Do you think the market adjusts, stays the same, or just continues rising?
I think it stays. I mean, I think it continues to rise in a sense, but like percentage-wise, it might stay the same. I think people are always going to value quarterbacks highly. They're always going to pay them a high chunk of their salary cap if they think that they have a guy. Yeah, you're going to have those teams that swing and miss, but if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have nothing. So they got to swing, right? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I wish we looked at all contracts in percentages because, like, you most of the time, like, I think they're around 8 to 10% of the cap.
Even more.
And that doesn't really. Maybe, yeah. Oh, I think we got our fourth voice, and who knows? Maybe they got some strong takes to add for us. A guy that was heavy in the chat a moment ago. See what he has to say. Brother Yeti.
Ah, there he is. He wants none of this.
Been waiting for this guy. You know you're the only reason I called in, dude.
Yeah. Hey, eat those cookies I sent you, but eat them.
I'll just fuck off, man.
No, dude, I'm so happy I caught a Friday night with you, man. Thanks, Dane. Thanks for doing this every Friday night, man. It's really cool. I appreciate you, brother. Totally. And Murph, dude, you're
Yes,
you're the co-pilot, dude. You're always there, man. It's cool. All three of you guys, man. That's cool. I appreciate what you guys do. I just really, dude. My thing was like, I wanted to call in just like because it's Dane, and I'm like, dude, we finally got a week of Conklin. like he got, he almost got 60 yards.
We
He
did.
actually caught him.
You know what sucks, man? If he gets targets, then the whole fan base flips out because Garrett didn't get any or something. Like, Conklin was cooking, man. Like,
Yep.
there's a lot of mouths to feed. And I was annoyed that Garrett got, like, no targets in the first half.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah. It's
I don't know,
that
man.
sucks, but I mean, I get it. But that whole argument, I mean, you can look at one side or the other. But so Garrett obviously deserves his catches, dude, because I mean, he's our guy, right? But so he sees, he's like, okay, so you brought Devontae in, that's cool. I'll give him hugs and we'll pet each other and we'll high five and do all that crap. But and now you're just looking at him again and again and again and again and again, and you're not looking at me. But I don't know. It's like kind of high school stuff. It's fuck. Who knows? I mean, they're grown adults, but they're all still kind of young, right? They're all in their early 20s. Of course, I guess Devontae's what, 31, 30, 31?
Yeah.
But he's not even really involved in the bickering. So, I don't know.
The thing about it is like that's a receiver thing, right?
Totally.
All receivers get upset when they don't get thrown the ball. Like unless you're fucking a saint like Larry Fitzgerald or something, like you get upset when the ball's not thrown your way. Nobody likes going out there and just practicing their cardio, for nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and when they know that they're open and they don't get thrown the ball, they get frustrated. I think most of us would too. Like if I'm playing backyard ball with my buddies and we're all half sloshed and I know I just cooked my buddy, and I didn't get thrown the ball because the quarterback wants to take off running with it or whatever it may be. Like I'm like, what the hell, dude? Throw me the ball. Like so. I get it, but at the same time, it is frustrating because we all hold Garrett very high and near and dear in our hearts. We know that that's our homegrown talent. That's our guy. We want to see him succeed, but it doesn't matter who's in here. It could be Justin Jefferson. It could be AJ Brown. It could be Jamar Chase. It could be Amon-Ra St. Brown. It doesn't matter. We can have all those guys in here. They're going to start getting pissed because they're not getting the targets, man. That's a receiver thing. All receivers get mad when they don't get, But the thing is we have the New York media out there that's out there. Like they know Garrett's upset. So they're always asking to interview him. They're always trying to get that sound bite out of him because that's the thing to do. That's how you get the clicks. You get the fan base riled up. Oh no, is Garrett going to be gone? Like that's what they do, man. Garrett's fine. He will be fine. I'm not going to take a sound bite or something or an interview right after a game whenever, we lost, which we know Garrett doesn't like doing, and he didn't get a ton of targets and he's just a little like heated at the time. I'm not going to take a sound bite like that and make it into a big deal. It's not like he said anything egregious. Like it's fine.
And he is fourth in the league in targets, by the way. And I think Will Parkinson or someone said it. It's not the targets, it's the losing that's getting to him. So, and that's understandable.
Yeah. That's a good point, Scott. No, yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, it's because no matter how you look at it, okay, the receptions and the looks dropped down substantially the past, 5-6 weeks or whatever, but he's going to get his 1,000. And he's still up there. He's top 5. Like you said, he's top 5 in a lot of categories. So he's had a great year. So I don't think I just don't see any truth to. A lot of people are saying he wants out of New York. I just don't see that.
He wants to win, right? He wants to win.
Yeah.
That's
so
all.
I guess at that point, everybody wants out of New York, right? So is that Quinnen, everybody, the whole roster down the road just wants out because they want to win? Like
he's been
how would you
bright spots this year?
And how the hell would he go to sleep at night knowing that he just left his whole team like back in the dust? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go win somewhere else while you guys like Fuck off, man. I don't believe that he's like that. I
I
think
don't
he
see.
wants.
Mm-mm. I don't see
Yeah.
him doing that. That's not
No.
Garrett. That's not Garrett's type. One thing I wanted to bring up, since we're talking about Garrett, is and somebody brought up Will Parkinson bringing up it's how Garrett is used rather than the targets and things like that. He did have a little bit of a soundbite or a quote talking about Lafleur, right? And
Yeah.
what was it? Let me look here. They
Guy.
love him, man. My rookie year, looking back on it, it was a special time, and I might have took it for granted. I love him. You know,
Hmm.
that was a guy. Maybe he wasn't the best play caller, but he was a good play schemer. Like he knew how to scheme and get guys open up holes. Excuse me, in the running game, things like that. He was praised for a lot of those things, and of course, we let him go. Um, we get somebody in here that actually knows what the hell they're doing on offense, that's not named Hackett, not named Downing. I think Garrett will be happy again. you know,
Where no, I don't know. I
Let me
hated
at let,
LaFleur when he was here. Sorry, I
no.
hated LaFleur when he was here, and I wanted him gone the whole time. But were we just assholes? Maybe.
I don't know because honestly, I saw people sharing clips on Twitter then of guys running open, and was it Zach? Was it Lafleur? Like there was guys open,
Elijah
but
Moore
there
was open a lot. Elijah
and
Moore was
there's
wide
guys,
open.
dude. There's guys open now. There's guys open then. There's guys open with Zach Wilson. There's guys open with Aaron Rod. You see what I'm getting at? Like I don't know, man. Like
hindsight is 2020.
execution is what matters. There's gonna be guys open in the NFL, man. There is like as many zone coverages and cover two safeties. Like there's gonna be holes. Like execution, that's what matters. But one thing I do want to say because like Garrett has been targeted top 5 in the league and blah blah blah. It has gone down since Devontae has come in. He was getting 11 targets a game before we got Adams. 11. That's a lot. Came down to 8, which is still plenty. 2 a quarter. But what I do think, like, I do relate with Garrett, if that's even his take. I relate with him in the fact of there are whole stretches where he's not targeted at all. Like, last Sunday, there was probably 2.5 whole quarters where I'm like, is Garrett even out there? And then he got like 5 targets over 1 quarter to balance it out. So, like, I guess I kind of see a little bit where he's coming from. Like, I don't think he needs more targets. I think he needs them dispersed evenly. And I do think you need to force him some the first half of the first quarter. Because last week and many games, Pittsburgh, there's probably 5 games where Aaron targets one of the 2 guys, Devontae or Garrett, the first half, one of them, and it's just them. Like Garrett, he had 100 and some yards that one game. It's because he was the guy. Well, like that, then it bounces back to Tay. Like what I'm saying is, I want it to be like, can you feed both half so it equals the same? Because again, I was watching Garrett last week because of various things. I needed to watch him specifically, and just like Malik Neighbors is having trouble, first like quarter and a half, you don't even hear from the guy, and then you hear 4 targets on one drive. I don't like that. That's where I can relate, and that's where I can see how someone can say he's not getting targeted enough, but he's still top 5 in the target. Like, I don't think top 5 targets closes that argument. Does that make sense?
No, that does make sense, and it definitely has dropped off since we've got Adams. But I do think that there's something to be said about that, and I wonder if it boils down to Aaron or if it boils down to Downing as to why we're so streaky with going heavy at one player and then all of a sudden it's just like, like it seems like all the best times that I've like the best quarterback games that I've seen is where a quarterback is just dealing to everybody. Like 11 different players are catching balls and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are always the best quarterback games to me. So, and it also helps like whenever you're giving everybody a chance early, you get them going. You get the juices flowing early, you get the competitive spirit in them. They're giving it their all because they know that they're already getting targeted. So I don't know what that boils down to. Is that an Aaron thing or is that a Downing thing? Like, are they? I don't know what's going on, but it's got to stop.
It could
I don't
also be a defense thing.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, the defense, yeah, it does. But, dude, the defense is so huge. But the one thing I want to say is, I mean, how this whole season is fucking wasted. Like, to have Garrett and Tay on the same team, a 1-2 tandem like that, you look throughout the years, and it's just wasted. This is just fucking gone. It's nothing. Like, I don't know if AR and Devontae come back next year, maybe we'll get a rebirth of it, but it'll be a year older version of AR, and he won't be able to get a ball down the field as far as he is right now, which isn't even all the way down, but it's still pretty much there. But I don't know.
Did he freeze?
Looks like
Yeah.
it.
He's in thought.
Oh, buddy, he's thinking hard.
I'll pull a Jake. Scott, were you gonna say something?
I was just say, what was Devontae's first game, the Pittsburgh game? Seems like it was. You guys were at that game. Yeah, they had a rough start.
They did, but like Murph reiterated, like it does seem like their targets come in bunches, and that's when, is it a defense thing or is it like a play calling? I don't know. I wanted both guys to be used interchangeably. I wanted one to go to the slot, then the other. I wanted Lazard to go to the slot. Like, I don't see why we can't do more of that. It seems like one guy gets locked into the slot for like half of a game. I don't know. Is it creativity? Is it? I don't know.
We do know the offense is not creative. I mean, it's more so, I think, since Downing's taken over, but it's not a creative offense.
Snowball with a rhetorical question, I think. Daniel, you want to take this? Or you want to hit on what you were going to say? Good.
I think I would probably say Adams. I think Adams is a little stronger at the point of attack. Garrett's got the hops. I don't think Garrett's bad. I don't think he's as bad as like his numbers would say, or you know what I mean. But I think that Adams right now is a little bit better. And I forgot my earlier point.
I don't see Garrett get too many contested catches, to be honest. I think it's either dink and dunk with him, or he's finding a pocket in a zone and then yakking it up. Like, we've seen him go over the top, like, once? But, like, in my opinion, maybe I just misremember, but it seems like Devontae is, like, ripping him down. Like, I don't know. I feel like Devontae is just way more aggressive all the way around.
Yeah.
Scott, what do you think?
Well, he is, and there's a comfort zone between him and Rodgers. And of course, Garrett's targets are going to come down when you add Devontae onto the team. I mean, they better, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a negative way about Garrett, but there's just someone else to throw the ball to.
Honestly, that last game without Devontae, Minnesota, London game, Garrett had 23 targets. If you take that game away, I could argue that his targets went up with Adams, which is wild, you know.
Well, they had nothing to throw to. You know, Lazard, he dropped a touchdown pass that game. They haven't used the tight ends much. Like Yeti said, it was nice to see Conklin was balling last week. That takes targets from people. You know, I think, like Murph said, he's a receiver. They get frustrated. I can remember watching Jerry Rice on the sideline berating coaches because he's not getting enough balls, especially once TO started kind of becoming a thing. Better, I think a better offensive scheme, even if, with all the same players we have now, is going to make everybody happier.
Yeah. And just like we've touched on all show long, coaching.
Yeah, I mean, always comes back
Everything
to
is going to boil down to coaching.
Always comes back to that.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like once we get into the red zone, the running game disappears?
They do seem pass heavy. Yeah. And that could be an Aaron thing. Aaron, I mean, he's known for throwing a lot of touchdowns, you know. It seems like unless we're at like the 1 yard line, they don't bother if they're in the red zone. So
There are people.
23 yards for Garrett. I wanted to point that out. 23 more. He gets his style.
Which
No problem.
his ceiling should be higher, but
Oh yeah.
but okay, I guess we need to prepare for Adams leaving. Assuming he does, which is the strongest thing. Lazard's going to be a cap casualty. Do you think Corley and Garrett, like, how highly are you prioritizing another pass catcher this offseason, and by what method?
I'm never expecting to see anything out of Corley. If it happens, great. I laugh that people keep screaming for Corley only because we're not at practice. The dude might not have any clue what he's doing. You can let him run back kickoffs, but it's not some great conspiracy to keep Corley from playing. I don't know. That whole argument seems ridiculous to me.
You know what it really reminds me of? Because we've seen him touch the ball a couple times this season, and he's looked explosive when he did.
Yeah,
like
sure.
He should have had a touchdown, you know, earlier this season, even though he was stupid. You know, I get that, but I'm just saying, a couple times he's touched the ball, he's looked explosive. It reminds me of a few years ago with Denzel Mims. Like, they weren't putting him out there, but the few times that they would put him out there, whether it was due to injuries or whatever, like they would throw him a ball and he would run for 40 yards. And it's like, oh, well, this dude needs to be out on the field more. But they never did, you know? And then, I don't know. It reminds me of Denzel Mims. I don't know why. Obviously, they're different types of players. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, they don't take the sunk cost into account. Like, sometimes, I mean, you guys have heard this before. Guys can be bad practice players, but then when the lights come on, they play better. How do you ever find that out using the formula we're using? If you never give guys chances when the lights come on.
Well, they did give him a chance, and he dropped the ball before he got into the end zone.
To me, that's a net positive though on that play. If you ask me,
that play, you know what made that play? The call and the execution. Well, any one of us would have scored on that play. Corley didn't do anything special.
I would have I would have scored, but I would have been clutching my hammy the whole way.
Yeah, probably me too. I have some hammy
Dane would have scored with a brown stain in the back of his pants when he saw one of them 250-pound linebackers running at him.
I'd have looked like Bryce Young out there.
My school, I was playing X. We had a play called X tackle trap, and I ran it, and I saw the center for some reason not block the nose guard. Guess who ate my lunch? That guy just smashed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Is it true that didn't they ban the crackback or something? That's
Yeah.
You just reminded me of that.
I'm not giving up on the guy, but I'm not calling him a savior either. I mean, people are acting, Jets fans are acting like all he needs is his chance. I don't know.
No, he's not. I don't know if maybe some people in the chat might think that he could be a superstar or whatever. I don't think that, but I think he could be a net positive on a team. I think he could be a solid wide receiver 3. Is that too much to ask for? You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We don't know, but all I know is there are coaches watching him practice, and now you're hearing this immaturity thing come up. That's not good for an NFL player. Not good. So, obviously he's got some physical skills. Takes more than that.
And this is my point. Stack just said it best. Like, you got Adams most likely leaving. You got Lazard 100% leaving. Conklin is leaving. Like, are you now to a point where you got to get a pass catcher again on day 1 or 2?
I think it'd be a good idea myself if there's someone they like. I think we agree the offensive line is in pretty good shape moving forward, right? I mean, depth
If you bring Moses back.
Depth is always good there. But even if Adams is here for another year,
yeah.
What about after that? Why not let a young receiver get some time behind Adams, or even as the 3, if he's that good? There's holes to fill. We need some defensive players.
In a lost season, at that, Scott, like in a lost season, why aren't we giving our young guys a chance?
Well, and I just fall back on the coaches see it every day. They chose to bring a guy off the practice squad instead of let Corley play. I don't get it.
I think that, well, you said it, maturity, that being like it not leaked, it was blatantly said by Ulbrich in a presser. Maturity, that is
never said that.
That's damning. I think he should have, because we are speculating that they're idiots. Now it's on the player, because before the fan base had it on the coaches and the play calling. Now it's on the player. And when it is maturity, what better way to get them in line than to embarrass them? I'm sorry, but that getting out there is embarrassing as hell.
How many players have we seen that are immature as hell are just absolute superstars in the NFL? Don't get me wrong. I don't think that you should reward a player for acting out or doing stupid things or acting like they're too good for this or that. I get it, but I'm just saying, if somebody's really talented, they need to be on the field. And if maturity is an issue and it's an ongoing issue, even if they're good on the field, trade them, get some capital out of them or something. You know what I mean? There's so many. I don't get the whole
Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice.
Yes, yeah. I mean, even Tyreek Hill, dude. Is that dude really that mature?
Well, the difference is if you produce like that, you can be more immature. You can be more of a wild card.
Yeah, but
Corley has done nothing, and I don't
Corley
know.
hasn't had he's had 3 targets all year?
Yeah,
You know what?
well, it's
I'm
also how does the immaturity manifest? I think like because Rasheed Rice that manifested outside the facility breaking the law, but like for all we know, Corley is immature in team meetings. He's immature. Like I'm just
practice.
saying, I don't want to slander the guy, but what I'm saying is we don't know enough. But I don't know. Like all I know is next year. Like I think he will get spell in that final game. Will he this week? I don't know. But like Devontae isn't even 100% at playing this weekend for one thing. Um, if he didn't learn anything being under Devontae and Lazard and all them guys, then he really is immature. So I hope him not playing that he was still able to develop in that room.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems. I mean, I agree with Murph to an extent. It seems like why not give the guy somewhat of a chance, especially now that we're out of it. But I'm not going to go as far as the coaches are screwing him. I don't see what the upside of that is for them at all.
Yeah, he's had 6 targets this year.
Yeah.
Didn't Brick mention practice habits also, or was that Downing? I don't know.
I didn't say anything about it.
No, I just heard the maturity thing, but like most of his, I just know like regardless of the touches and the targets, like even the snaps are really low. Like you could even have him out there blocking to earn his touches. You know what I mean? But most of his snaps are special teams, or they're like at most he has 5 snaps on offense a game if he's lucky. Most of the time it's one. Why are we even activating him for one touch?
Well, he's been inactive quite a bit lately, right?
Yeah, that too.
I don't know. To me, that's a slap in the face, dude. You spent a 3rd-round pick on this dude. Get him out in the field. Like, give it a shot. Like, the season is lost. Like, who cares? I don't care if he pulls a Elijah Moore in college and wipes his ass with the football. Like, if he scored a touchdown in the process, then it's like, okay, well, we might have a guy here. I don't know. I just don't understand it. You spent a 3rd round and they traded up for him, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
He was
so even more capital.
Apparently.
Even more capital. Yeah, you spent that capital to get this guy, and you're not giving him any. I'm not saying you need to give him Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson targets. Like those are your guys, but get him out on the field. Give him a few targets a game, just to see what you got. Like it's not gonna hurt anything.
No. And why hasn't he been running back kickoffs? Seriously.
Yeah.
What kind of playbook do you if it's learning a playbook, whatever? Running back a kickoff? Just get him back.
If you can't work them into the offense because there's too many mouths to feed, at least do that. I mean, we got Xavier Gibson fumbling a damn punt last week. Damn near. I mean, the game was probably lost anyway, but it definitely didn't. It definitely didn't help.
Yeah. Here's another guy that's gone. I mean, there's liable to be Wilson and Corley next year. And they got to rebuild that whole room.
One thing that the Danger Zone crew has been all over. It's how we should have got Gibson out of there long ago, man. Ever since we launched in April, we wanted someone else in his spot. And it hasn't gotten better. Him fair catching it with no one around, or him being dude. Anytime on punt returns, there's a guy in 10 yards of him, he gets scared. He's got the yips. Like, why the hell is he playing through him?
I get scared too watching him try to.
And it really looked like we had a guy in the offseason, like in the preseason in Codrington. It looked like we had a guy that just like he looked like a natural back there. Like whenever he caught it, he always made space and made something happen. He looked fearless out there. He looked exactly like what you want in your returner. and we're like, nope, we got a guy because he ran one punt back week 1 of last year. We're going to cut you, and the best team in the division is going to pick you up because he's good enough for them, but he wasn't good enough for us.
Dude, I got
the check mark against Joe D right there.
Hey, I got laughed at early this offseason for saying, you know what? I'll take Randall Cobb just to do that punt return job over Gibson. But hey, that aged pretty well, I would like to think. Just luckily we didn't. Dude, if we were a playoff team, are we really going into the playoffs with him returning punts still? Like, what the hell?
I'd rather just have nobody back. Just let the ball bounce.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd almost be better off.
I would be better off. My heart would be better off.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. That's, oh man, that's frustrating. And that's something we've botched for years, man. Like we had Andre Roberts, all pro returner. We let him go. Where'd he go? Buffalo. What are we doing, guys? But that
Hey,
was before Joe D.
while you guys are chit-chatting, do you want to go through and pick the NFL games real quick, and then we'll get out of here?
Yeah.
You got time for that? Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just don't bring up last week's score.
I won't, because I didn't even check them yet. But
Like all those games that could go either way, I missed about every one of them.
so give me a minute. I do got to share my screen and stuff. Maybe, I don't know. All I know is the chat's been popping. I don't know if you guys have access to see. Maybe shout a few people out, but they've been popping down there, man. So
Yeah.
just give me. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Infrared, Clancy, Stack, and Allen, they've been going at it in here. It's some of the
I know Snowball said that as far as Corley goes, he thinks maybe it was a premature draft evaluation.
Well, I remember when they chose him, I thought it was going to be Roman Wilson. I was like, he hadn't done anything either. So
he's done more than Corley has.
I don't know if he's done much more. I've watched the Steelers a few times, and I don't think I've even seen him play. He might have got hurt for a while too, but
Yeah, I think he was hurt for a little bit. Infrared in the chat was saying Gibson reminds him of Barrios. Let me ask you, would you rather have Gibson back there returning punts or Barrios?
oh, I'm back to having no one deep for the punt, Murph.
Yeah. Hey, give me Barrios because he at least gave us 1 year of all pro returning ability, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? Gibson gave us the most exciting play of last year.
Yeah. He gave us 1 play. Barrios gave us a year. So give me Barrios.
Yeah. I would say Barrios, but can we set our sights a little higher?
Yeah, Barrios, pre Zach Wilson is good T-shirt.
Where is he now?
Oh, who knows? He
was with Miami, right?
He was with the Dolphins, but I'm pretty sure they cut him last offseason.
I don't.
Curious.
Yeah.
Braxton Barrios. First
Still
picture is in a Jets uniform. I think he's still with the Dolphins.
Huh.
Unless
All
they
right.
his wiki.
I know he was there like early this season. I don't know if he's still there. But just to get the chat on board while things are catching up on my end. Chat, we're about to go through the games tomorrow and Sunday. What I want to know is if you want included in the grading for next week, we'll announce who did what. But All you got to do is pick who you think will win each game that we have on the screen. You don't have to consider the point spreads or anything. It's just who you think will win. And if everybody just picks the favorites, then nobody's going to win. So you kind of want to pick maybe one upset or two upsets. But you might want to consider, who's hungry this time of year, who's not, who's at home, who's divisional. It's up to you guys how you want to do it. But let's start it off. I believe this is tomorrow. Is this tomorrow? I think. Yeah, Saturday. Okay. First up, the bottom team is the home team. So we're in Foxborough. Chargers at Patriots. You got to consider tanking too. Someone want to go first?
Well, I was curious. Is that what that HOME means for? Is that for home team?
Oh yeah, that is.
All right, no, yeah, but so I think Chargers handle it. I think they're going to outcoach, outplay, outclass the Patriots, as most teams have done all year.
Yep.
I mean, I do like the core. I do like their quarterback for the Patriots, but I also like Justin Herbert. So that's an easy Chargers game.
I got Ricky, Stack, and Clancy on with the Chargers as well. I like it.
Chargers.
Yeah. Is it Does anyone in here pick the Patriots? How about that? Anyone want the Patriots?
Probably Allen.
Deez, welcome to the show, man. Would love if you hit the subscribe button. I think we're very close to 200 subscribers. We might even have gotten there. We're very close, but looks like he's a 49er fan. He says they'll give us Debo for Garrett. What say you guys?
Get the hell
Hell
out.
no. Hell no. No disrespect. Debo's, he's been a good player and stuff, but he's got a lot of mileage on him, man.
Yeah, he doesn't produce week in, week out anymore either.
Tell them, Stack. They're in the chat defending Garrett as well. Hey, Deez, I don't know if it was you or not, but we just hit 200 subscribers, gang. So, hey, 200! Awesome, man. Okay, nobody wants the Patriots, so we're gonna move right along. And again, Deez, thanks for joining us, man. Every Friday night we're here, so come on over anytime. Okay, here, this one's better. Broncos at Bengals, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Did you see Deez's last comment?
Please, LOL. He's a solid returner. Oh, we can replace Gibson finally.
Please with the puppy dog eyes. I'm going to go Bengals here.
Okay.
Bengals.
I think it's close, but I think fuck it, home field advantage, even though they're 2-5 at home. Bengals have been pretty competitive in a lot of their games. It's not really on Joe Burrow while they're losing. I don't know. I just have a feeling the Bengals are going to take that.
New York Jets superfan also in on he's in on the Broncos. So this one is dividing people. We got Clancy on the Bengal train. Alan likes the Bengals. Jay likes the Bengals. Okay, Ricky on the Broncos. That is a tough one, man. But honestly, nobody knows it better than Murph. Joe Burrow's cooking, man. And I'm with them. State I grew up in, state I spent 30 years in, Cincinnati takes it home. I like the Bengals.
State you got the hell out of.
Yes, sir. I went from one O to another.
There you go.
That's what the Dane O is for. Nah, it's for...
Is that for ouch?
It's for what the ladies say, right?
Oh. That's what
I'm
they
just kidding.
Oh.
Oh. Damn it.
Oh.
Cardinals at so this is our slate tomorrow, by the way. That middle game's not bad, but the night game, Cards at Rams in LA. Where you at?
Rams.
This could be a good one too.
Divisional.
My heart wants to say Cardinals just for lulls, but I gotta go Rams.
Hey, this is how you win a week, though. You pick a team like the Cardinals and they pull it off, but
That's
you
how
gotta
you
be
lose
right.
a week too, though.
Have the Cardinals played a
Rams.
good game since they beat the Jets?
Ooh, good question.
They've been terrible.
You see,
lately,
their away record's pretty bad too.
Yeah, it's still Rams.
Rams.
Snowball with the Cardinals. Ooh,
Okay, Snowball. I see you.
see you.
All right. Exit full screen. Sorry, I'm juggling windows. Just to scroll down is so stupid. All right, so on to Sunday, guys. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Is anyone picking the Jets? This is how you win a week, guys.
We're getting spanked.
Buffalo.
We're getting spanked.
It's in Buffalo, damn it. Snowball did go against the grain there, didn't he? No one else did. All right. You guys both picked Buffalo. I picked Buffalo. Superfan. What's your first name, bro? That's a long New York Jets superfan. Yeah, I'm going Buffalo. Chat's finally coming in here. Clancy with Buffalo. Snowball.
Snowball, there ain't no way you actually believe that.
You know, Snowball was doing pretty good. He was here 2 weeks ago, and he placed second, so we'll see.
Out of 3.
Jerry.
Out of 3, yeah.
Jerry's like, we'll keep it within 19.
Snowball is trolling at this point, says Jay. You know what? Look at that, though. Jets lose. We move up to pick 6. For now, though. What about... we beat my... Okay, we'll get there, though. You gotta come next week to tell us about that. Alright, so nobody else needs submitted. Let's move on here. Another 10 o'clock game. So you better get up early, Murph. 10 o'clock on Fox. Raiders at Saints. That is a horrendous game. Where are you guys at? This is how you win a week right here.
Is Rattler still starting for the Saints?
As far as I know.
Ugh,
Kamara's still out.
gross.
Kamara is questionable, but I'm pretty sure Crosby's out for the year.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna go Raiders.
So am I.
This is like an XFL game.
Did you watch Monday Night Football, Murph?
No.
Saints.
I go to bed
Packers.
at like 9, dude.
Oh God,
It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. The Saints were so bad against the Packers, so bad.
Yeah.
But hey, if you want them, you got them, bro.
There's been a team that scored 0 points this week, a team that scored 2 points this week, a team that scored 3 points this week. Good Lord.
Oh yeah, did the Saints get shut out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that was last week technically, but Monday. Yeah. Well, I think it was 31-0, wasn't it?
One thing we can agree on is the Raiders are 2 different teams. One with Desmond Ridder and another with Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell's in this game, and he actually knows what Brock Bowers looks like. But they are in New Orleans, so like it's a coin flip game.
You know, just because you said it, if Aiden O'Connell's starting, I'll give it to the Raiders.
That
I
is the
like them a
difference.
little bit.
So do I.
I don't think
like,
I don't think he's like a starting caliber quarterback, but he's like I think he could be a decent backup for a long time.
I think he's a lot like Mike White.
Yeah.
Um, did anyone pick the Saints? I think so, but I'll get them recorded later. Definitely got to come back for the chat. They're zooming. All right, another 10 a.m. game. Colts at the G-Men. Colts heavily favored.
Flacco might be playing for him.
Ooh, good nugget.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that he was with them anymore.
What
He
happened
is.
to Rich?
Richardson hasn't practiced all week.
If Flacco's
Okay.
playing, it's definitely Colts. I mean,
Well, I'm
Not
going
that he-
Colts either ways. I don't care. Murph can play quarterback. I'm still going Colts.
The Giants are the only team that I visibly see actively, obviously trying to lose. Like, I'm sorry, you just hop over Drew Lock and you put DeVito in. And it's bad, man. I'll go Colts.
yeah, it's Colts.
Hey, did you see Drew Lock against Atlanta?
Okay, now Snowball, I give up on you, man. You're a lost cause. Drew Lock against Atlanta, I did not.
Oh well, if you had, you probably wouldn't say they're jumping people over him. He was awful. Couple sixes and just
I can't
DeVito,
get with
they
I
all are
can't get
bad.
with old what they would call them cold cuts.
Cutlets.
Cutlets,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cutlets. Oh man, this game just hurts to see. There are so many bad games.
Oh,
Okay, I'll announce it here. Cowboys without CD Lamb, without Tony Pollard, obviously. Like, with nobody is what I'm getting at.
Well, they definitely don't have Tony Pollard because he played for the Titans.
Versus the Jalen Hurts missing Eagles.
Eagles.
It's still Eagles. Even with Kenny Pickett.
If they were in Dallas, I would think for half a second. But, all right, Snowball, I see you.
All day.
I'm going Philly as well.
Snowball picked Dallas.
He said it's the week of upsets, but I think they're a little behind us, so we'll find out from him. Clancy appreciated that joke. Tony Pollard. Dude, they should have kept him, and they kept Zeke. Or I don't even know how that went down right now, but whatever. All right. They brought him back. Yeah, they got rid of both, and then, yeah. Panthers at Bucks. Bryce Young is cooking. You want to take him, Murph?
No, I'm on that Baker train, man. I'm kind of a Baker guy, so we're going to go Bucks.
Mike Evans, baby.
But
Mike Evans is trying to get 1,000, so, yeah. Bucks.
Hey, and Bucky Irving, I mean, he's had a hell of a season, too.
Ducks, baby.
You know, they're a team I would not want to play in January.
Yeah, I think they could be sneaky and win a game or two in the playoffs.
Their offense.
Shaky is the problem.
Another divisional game. This is a toilet bowl. What say you?
Who?
Titans at Jags.
Oh,
Trevor starting?
no. He's out for the year, isn't he?
Oh. Not that it really mattered.
Give me the Titans.
Yeah?
I'm going to go Jags.
Oh, man.
It's bad, though.
Who wants it less?
Yeah.
I learned my lesson picking the Jags against the Raiders.
I'm going Titans. I am. Just because they have some talent at receiver, and I don't know. I'll be wrong, but
I'm not going to argue my point because they both suck, and
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not confident about it, but
Okay, the late slate: Miami at Cleveland, and this is my defense for the week. Is the Dolphins?
How cold is it going to be?
Ooh. Well, all it says is right now. Right now in Cleveland, it's 57.
Oh, a heat wave. I'll take Miami.
Okay.
Just so the Jets can ruin their season next week.
Murph?
this might be my big upset. I think I might go Browns.
Can be.
I can see them doing it. They still have a lot of good, talented players on defense, and so I can see it.
I can see it too. What is this? 6.5? That's a bit high. Like I would take the Browns plus 6.5, but I can't pick them outright. I'll take the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the Browns. Get Jameis back there cooking.
Oh wait.
And Murph,
Yeah, he's not playing.
they benched him.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh God. Who's even starting for him then? DTR?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still taking Browns. They're going to shut the Dolphins down. Their defense is going to shut them down. I'm not alone in it too. Infrared, Browns. There was a couple others too.
There's some Dolphin hatred in here.
I'm with you, Scott, though. Like, let them win so that they can, like, think for a minute. And then I honestly, honest to God, I know it's going to suck to do, but I want to win that game.
I want to
Next
win
week.
every game.
Yeah. Till April, and then you're like, fuck!
No, because, I mean, you still got to develop most of these players anyway, and the Jets have mostly, well, it's going to be a different staff, so I guess I can't pin future failures on the current staff.
Yeah, this is the COVID draft of JD, isn't it? Hopefully we come away with more than a big old turd at left tackle. All right, Packers at Vikings. That might be one of the games of the week.
Give me the Vikings.
I'm going Vikings also.
I'm going Packers with the upset.
I want to see that Week 18 game, Lions and Vikings, with them both, with them being tied.
Ricky's with me. Dude, the Packers are hot. So, I mean, the Vikings are too. But.
I wanted to pick the Packers because, like, when I think about it, like, the Minnesota Vikings winning 14 games this year just seems unrealistic. But until they prove that they're not doing it, they're doing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, defense is good. Flores has got them cooking over there. Darnold's playing
Jordan
pretty
Love's
good.
doing his late season thing again. Dane, you'll like this. I just heard this on the radio today. I think they said in December, the last 2 years, starting in December. Now they didn't include playoffs, but Jordan Love's 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
I
Getting
saw
hot at the end of the
them.
year. That's the best way to go.
Yeah. They tried to attribute it at one point to the Toyota-thon or whatever. It's like, no, dude, he's just, I don't know, he gets in a crazy rhythm. But that is, I mean, that's why I'm picking them. They're in Minnesota. I'm just picking them because the Packers are hot. And if you watch them on Monday night, I know the Saints are god-awful. They're cooking. They are cooking.
Yeah, I don't know. Vikings have been hot all year, so
Yeah, true
I
that.
mean,
Yeah,
I,
that Saints team was very much underhanded there, under whatever the word is I'm looking for. They were missing no Olave, no Carr, no Kamara. I'm not sure who else was missing, but that's pretty big. Those three right there.
facts.
yeah. And the Vikings did what they should have done. They fucking blew them out.
Packers. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Packers. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
They did. All right. Falcons at Commanders. Sunday Night Football. Peacock. NBC. Falcons. Commanders. What say you?
Come
How
on,
have the Falcons won 8 games? I didn't think they won 8 games.
When they
Murph,
pulled Kirk.
what you got your pick, your preseason pick, Murph? Falcons?
Yeah, I thought they were going to win like 11 or 12 and surprise a lot of people. I was wrong.
Well, but I think the question was who wins the division, and you said the Falcons, and they control their own destiny right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to win in Washington.
Talk about another team that's hot, huh? It's like ever since that Hail Mary play, the Bears, oh my God, and the Commanders, oh my God. Yeah, Commanders for me as well.
Yeah.
All right,
I love Commanders.
last game. You got an upset here, guys. Lions at Frisco.
Lions.
Yeah, Lions. Too many damn injuries on San Francisco. Like,
Lions got a few themselves.
You know what's crazy is that spread is only 3.5. Damn. I guess.
well, it's at San Francisco though.
True. You know what? I'm cool with just going with Packers. Different. I'm going Lions as well. I mean, they're. I don't think I pick a team over them right now. The Chiefs maybe in Arrowhead. Like I would
I don't
think
even know if I would
twice.
do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's few. There's very few. Especially you got.
I would just because their defense is in such scramble.
Has that stopped them yet?
Well,
Oh, you mean in Arrowhead? Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yeah.
I would if Hurts was playing, I would pick Philadelphia over them.
I'd be tempted to pick the Vikings over them.
Yeah.
At
Murph,
Minnesota.
you'll have to answer that one next week.
Yeah.
Now, how do I score this though? Jerry put all these. Like, does that mean okay? That means he picks the. What if it's Commanders by 6? Is he right?
Nah, we'll just go team.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Fair enough.
He gets the benefit of the doubt. He's out there fighting kangaroos and shit right now, so we just appreciate his presence.
Landslides. Where did he pick? One was like -19.
That was the Jets game. No, yeah, it was. He had the Jets getting within 19.
Hopefully, yeah. Maybe if they possess the ball for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
No. You know what? If it's going to be as rainy and shitty as they say, I still think you'll have trouble with Josh and his legs. But I think it's going to be a 1-score game.
I hope you're right.
We thought that all year, though. Like
Most of them have been. I mean, really, even last week they ended up 10, but it wasn't a 10-point game. You know, Jets found a way to screw another one up.
Like when we played the Bills earlier this season, like there was still like a glimmer of hope.
And they played well.
There's none of that hope left. Like
No.
these guys are just trying to get some stats and call it a season. They're going to
Maybe
get
Rodgers is trying to get his 500th so he can retire.
Get Garrett his 23. That's what I'm more worried about.
Oh, he'll get that.
Yeah.
I thought he would be gung ho about having Garrett catch 500. Like, I get Devontae, how many has he caught in milestone wise already of Aaron's this year? Like, I thought he would evenly distribute half of the shit. But I cannot argue the people who are saying he had tunnel vision after he got 499 last week, because I thought he did too.
Yeah. Well, how many passes did he throw into the end zone after just one, right? On the 4th down play?
Yeah. I don't know if it was the only one, but it seemed like Garrett wasn't even a thought until at the end when it's like, oh shit, he has 2 targets, and then we sent like 5 his way right away. But maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know.
And
but
pretty crazy because the Jets had the ball the whole game. It seemed like.
Yes, they did. Until midway through the 3rd, it was very lopsided. Murph, I know you're about out of here. Go ahead and elaborate on your point, but there is a final.
Garrett technically has better stats than Devontae so far this year, but Devontae I think was out for a few games or whatever. But Devontae's only got 719 in receiving yards. Same amount of touchdowns though, 6.
I think
one thing I do.
Missed 4 games maybe.
Hamstring or whatever.
3. Didn't he miss his last 3 with the Raiders, or was it 2? And then he didn't play the first one when he was with the Jets, right?
No, he played right away.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I think he didn't play the Buffalo game. I think he was already, the trade had happened, but he didn't play, right?
I don't know. I remember getting him, and then he was up to Pittsburgh. Did we trade right before the Buffalo game or something?
That's what I'm thinking, but who knows? Maybe
I was thinking that Pittsburgh was his first game, but
it was,
yeah, first game for sure.
But yeah, he was injured earlier this year.
Yeah, he had a hammy.
I think we traded for him right after the Buffalo game, like the next morning or something.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong.
No, you might be right. Maybe we were all thinking he was going to get traded in time for the Buffalo game, and then it didn't happen.
Yeah, we just fired Sala too. Oh man, what a week that was. Yeah, because that was the week we fired Sala. We didn't also bring in Devontae. It had to be the next week, I think.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. It was like fired Sala, hoping that would provide the spark. Still lost to Buffalo, and then they're like, "Oh, slap the Band-Aid on it."
Yep.
Chill the fan base out. Get them excited again.
Murph, knowing us, will be another 15 to 20, so why don't I let you give a chance to give your final take. I do have a question on the way out the door I want to ask, and it's related to the league MVP. And I know every adult male over the age of 16 has a take on this. I want to hear yours. Where are you at with the league MVP race?
I mean, it still looks like Lamar's title to lose, you know? I mean, Josh Allen's had a decent season, but he's not on that level. Saquon, you can make an argument for Saquon Barkley, but it's always a quarterback that wins it, you know? I wish they gave it to like running backs and wide receivers and stuff like that more. Even a defensive player if they're killing it, but looks like Lamar's title to me, as long as he doesn't botch the last couple games of the season.
I'm with you, man. Scott, what do you think?
I'm in the Josh Allen camp right now.
Oh, you traitor.
Hey, I said the same thing last week, just like you guys.
Scott, I thought you said it was going to be Brock Purdy.
Oh God, I'd rather cut my big toe off.
No, those things make you too much money. Don't do that.
You know, but it's funny. Maybe we should just say Mahomes? I know he didn't have the stats, but
The safe bet, you mean?
well, I mean, the guy can figure out how to pull out a win if they need him to, almost every game.
He has to have like 10 fourth quarter comebacks this year.
You know what? And way more this year than last year. I mean, I heard him talking about his stats, fourth quarter stat, all that kind of stuff, and he's way better this year when the game was on the line. But that's why they're 14-1 or 15 whatever they are, 14-1. But yeah, I'll stick with Josh Allen for now.
I mean, we did do that graphic a while back. How many games we have lost by 6 points or less? What would our record be if they were flip flopped and we were above 500? The Chiefs were like 2-11, but they were 11-2 because they win all those games. So I know I get what you're saying.
Did the Chiefs score against Pittsburgh?
Did they what?
Did the Chiefs score 30 against Pittsburgh? I don't remember what the score was. It was a lot.
It was 29-10.
I think the Chiefs have not scored 30 points in a game yet. Still,
they still have not.
That's crazy.
That is to win and not blow team like because. Lions, yeah, they're cooking, but like to keep them all close and that's playoff football all year.
So I wasn't exaggerating as much as maybe I thought I was. He has 7 this year. I sent you a graphic of his career, and this year is way more than any other year he's had.
Well, they used to blow people out when they had Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
You know, they just boat race teams, but last couple years has not been that way.
And then even Kelsey, has he been that impressive this year? You know?
No.
Is he starting to hit that decline? Maybe.
He had a good game the other day.
Again, man, how many targets are you getting? Like, I don't know. Like, if you got Brock Bowers targets, I'd love to see what he came away with. I don't know. I didn't get anything. Where'd you send it?
Oh, on Discord.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you. All right, guys, I think we're good. We got football tomorrow, though. 3 games. We just looked at them. 10 a.m. Murph, so you better get up early.
Yeah.
No.
10 a.m. for you, buddy. You're the one that needs to get up early. That's early for you.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I think the first one was trash, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, fantasy championship implications, playoff implications, tankathon implications, all that jazz. Dude, I get wanting to look ahead, but like we still got good shit right here to look at. I mean, if we look at draft right now, imagine how early we're gonna have draft fatigue. You know, that's why I pumped the brakes on that.
We are going to have it. No matter when we start, we are going to have it.
That's why I pump it.
Because
he's already
that's all we've ever looked forward to. I mean, I think I might already have draft fatigue. You know?
Yep. All right, let's go. You guys have any final words? I'm good, though.
Nope. Good show. It's fun hanging out, guys. Thanks everybody in the chat for coming in and BSing with us and hanging out.
200 subscribers, man. We got it all together, man. Appreciate you guys.
0. Yeah.
That away, Dano.
Have a good night. Later, guys.
Good night, everybody.
You here tonight?
She was in here earlier, and
Early on.
yeah. She said we need to get 500 subscribers so I can start showing some leg and making some donations. And before, I'm not gonna cop out on that one. Lamar is my MVP. Only because I think that his September and October was better than Allen's. But I still think it can go either way these last 2 weeks. If we beat Josh, I think he's toast.
Yeah.
If they play the same, I think it's difficult. But if Lamar, I mean, dude, Lamar was epic the other day, so
Yeah,
it's like everybody's recency bias is swaying things. Will it sway the voters? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, later.
See you, fellas.
Adios.
I love the show. I love you guys. Fucking, let's go Jets. Jets, Jets. I love the show. I love you guys. Fucking, let's go Jets. Jets.
No, I'm beating you with my mind. And I can still dominate, I think.
Dane, you're a legend, bro.